and always worth everyone's money, time, and appreciation. So he got to do that first. Then, the Block Debate. I don't know. You can't have a name like this and ask for free shout outs. But I tried. Frogger says that name amazingly. It's like the Blanca Debate. The Blanca. I don't know. Look, we're not going to get distracted on names. What else happened in the stream? Oh, yeah. I want to hit like a stupid shout out segment.
If it doesn't continue, he's going to stop playing it.
Hello everyone out there. How are you today? I hope I find you well. And today, I, Darkside Phil, am doing something that I usually don't do. I'm testing out a premise. People over the years have always wanted me to react to content. Today, we are trying this out. And today, we are reacting to a video with over 8 million views on YouTube. It is a documentary style video regarding someone who has been mentioned in my streams and content many years, both in positive and negative ways, and it's someone who I don't really know much about, okay? I don't really have ever had much or any interaction with Wings of Redemption. I don't know about his content or content style besides what people have told me. I'm not kidding you. I've literally never watched a single content video of his, okay? But I know the memes because people come on my streams all the time to do this and talk about him and meme about him and everything. Now, I want to preface this video series with the following. I ran this by both the maker of the video, Frederick Knudsen, and Wings of Redemption himself and obtained permission from both to do this project. I did not do this without permission. I'm not trying to do this to harm anyone, and I'm not trying to steal anyone's content. I've gotten written permission from both, so we're good to go on this, and everyone seems on board for it. All right? Just before someone says, oh, Phil is doing this or that wrong. I would not have done this, okay, if I didn't have permission. So without further ado, it is time to start down the rabbit hole for the first time ever. Oh, I have to watch it. Look at this handsome
While
guy.
many content creators from the early days of YouTube are still active online, there are few with a reputation as mixed as that of Geordie Jordan, better known as Wings of Redemption. Often compared to Darkside Phil, Jordan is still remembered fondly from the days when he was popular enough to launch the careers of other YouTubers simply by exposing them to his audience. Nowadays, however, searching for him online will reveal numerous videos compiling clips streaming on Twitch.tv, showcasing moments of rage and frustration, as well as online harassment targeted towards him. What's remarkable about these compilation videos is just how much attention they receive, sometimes over 50,000 views in less than a week, and with enough time, they will often accumulate view counts in the hundreds of thousands, while one has reached 1.4 million.
Look here! Look, listen! Appearing offline does not...
Similarly, some of that compose these compilations have thousands of subscribers, with the most popular, Sean Ranklin, boasting almost 50,000.
Whoa, okay. Why is everyone saying rest easy, Sean Ranklin? He got suspended? He did? He's gone, huh? Sean Ranklin's gone for good? What happened? He got copyright strikes? For reusing content? I mean, we could get into a whole discussion about how fucked up YouTube's copyright system is, and I don't want to do that today. So, alright, let's continue.
Seems to have once had friends willing to support him, they now deride him with much the same...
Okay, hold on. This is the podcast Wings invited me onto. but he's not a part of it anymore, I guess, right? It looks like, I guess they kicked him off. But yeah, he had invited me on this, and I didn't, this was the one that supposedly I was lying about being sick, and I didn't show up to. By the way, the entire right fucking side of the screen is ads. Look at this. This is the shit I don't do. Look at their fucking, half of their screen is fucking advertisements. That is disgusting. Anyway. Let's continue.
And enthusiasm as those looking to harass him.
And Wings just got confused and shaved his whole head and beard with a razor. And now he looks like a milk dud. Now he looks like a thumb. He looks awful.
So who is Wings of Redemption, and
Okay.
how did he go from being one of YouTube's most popular creators to the subject of widespread and perpetual ridicule?
This is gonna be a long project. Oh my god. Thank you, Tartarian Truth, for the
In
super
the late
chat. Just keep up the great
2000s,
work.
only a few years after YouTube was made available, a new kind of video content was gaining popularity, known as Call of Duty commentary, which would chiefly consist of footage captured from the eponymous game and similar first-person shooter titles. The
one is
commentary in
this?
these videos would often be related to the gameplay,
World
but
at
other
War?
times the videos served as a vehicle for musings by the creator on a variety of topics. Among these early creators were names still active today at varying levels of popularity, such as C-Nanners, Hutch, Tabes, and Dr. Disrespect, who utilized the format to increase their initial popularity. Of this
Yeah.
group, however, there was one in particular that stood out, a man named Jordy Jordan, going by Wings of Redemption, or simply Wings.
Interestingly enough, just a quick frame of reference, when I started on YouTube, that shit was what was popular. Like, that's all you could find. You found these commentary over, like, gameplay, like Call of Duty, or it was, like, full formative videos, like, here's how you play the game, like actual instructional videos. That was it. There was, like, no impromptu commentary on the games. It was either, like, let's just talk over gameplay about something random, or let's have an informative instructional video on how to play a game. So I knew these people existed, like Hutch and C-Nanners, however you say his name. I knew they existed. They were big names back then on YouTube before I was prominent. And I knew the content existed, but I was never interested in watching someone just talk about a random topic over fucking Call of Duty. I was like, they're completely unrelated. I never understood that.
He took to the style of video quickly. 2 weeks after a test upload of himself playing Call of Duty World at War with no voice track, he released his first commentary video on October 24th, 2009.
2009.
Hello.
Oh, wait a minute.
Yeah, hi again. This is my first commentary, and here we go. I was going to do a shotgun vid I recorded today, but well,
Though he had little trouble talking for long periods during the 10-minute runtime, he apologized both during his commentary and in the description for various things, including long pauses and his choice of subject matter. Even so, he found himself comfortable creating videos, and soon he was steadily producing new content, including commentary videos as well as shorter videos highlighting impressive feats he accomplished in the game. Though his opinions were strong, he was still viewed as maintaining an affable and relatable personality. Perhaps interested in maintaining an air of authenticity, he would continue to record his commentary as a single take, restarting the recording if he was not satisfied but willing to accept minor errors.
oh man. It's late, I'm tired, and I'm ready to get this over with. This is take 3 on the commentary on this because I've been having a brain fart and I bitched entirely way too much about quick scoping in my last 2 attempts.
So this is completely different from the kind of content that I ever did. Okay.
Began using a short intro, labeling himself as Intense Camping Productions,
Intense
a play on the
camping?
camping strategy common to first-person shooters. During this time, he would engage frequently with his commenters, and even stated that they were having a positive impact on him.
And before I go on with that, let me just say I want to thank all the subscribers for tuning in and watching my videos, and hopefully rating them at some point. But I'm going through a hard time in my life right now. And the moral support you guys are giving me is fantastic. I always said love outweighs the hate. It's damn true, brother.
And you know what? When I started on YouTube, that was a bad time in my life too. Like my life at that point, my job, I felt like I was being completely underappreciated. I was overworked. My personal life was not good. I was very unhealthy at that point in my life. I was very, very, well, I guess we're watching a video about Wings, and for me saying that I was overweight, it's not going to be a direct comparison. But I weighed around 240 plus pounds. Right now, I only weigh about 210. So back then, I was like 30 more pounds heavier. I felt sick all the time. I was drinking way too much. I was basically depressed. And it was the comments on my YouTube videos that actually made me feel like really positive, because I felt, wow, I actually have meaning in life. And my job, I felt like my job was a waste of my time. I didn't feel like I was being appreciated for the work I was doing. And to have positivity thrown at me for something that I did and put work into, people were like, wow, we love your content, we love your gameplay. And those comments made me feel really positive about myself for the first time in a very long time. And it was very important in my life to have that reinforcement, because I wasn't really getting it from any other source. It was people on the internet who were giving me that positive reinforcement. It was a very nice thing. And, you know, back then, YouTube was a different place, where mostly, no matter what you put out on the internet, I'm serious about this, anything you uploaded to YouTube, you got positive feedback. It was always people liked it and said, thank you for the free content. Not the same today, that's for sure, but back then it was a very different place.
While the precise numbers are uncertain, he quickly was receiving thousands of views within the first month, an impressive number both for the time and for such a new channel. His subscriber count also began to grow in tandem. But this attention was both positive and negative.
Okay.
Because his in-game username was visible in his videos, people would message him on his console, wanting to be his friend or asking for game advice.
I know about
They
that.
would even join his games mid-session, and their skill levels would vary widely, which could influence his ratio of wins to losses, which he felt important. However, it was the comments in his videos that would prove the more emotionally taxing. The community is well known for decrying certain playstyles as
Camping is a
illegitimate or
skill.
lesser, and among these is the aforementioned camping strategy, wherein a player chooses a single location and waits for opponents to approach. This more methodical method of play was Jordy's favored tactic, and one that he was unashamed of using, though he was clearly self-conscious of it to the point that he felt the need to defend himself over its use in his very first commentary video.
Oh, really?
Bitching. I mean, I just wanted to get this off my chest because some people think I'm a camper, which I am a camper. I ain't gonna lie to you. I camp to fucking win.
Nice.
If it requires me to camp to get the upper hand on you, I will camp.
But this
Good, and good for him to stick to, you know, there's nothing wrong with that. This is exactly the same as today. Oh, you can't play Elden Ring a certain way, right? It's a strategy in the game. He's not hacking, he's not cheating. He's using a strategy in the game to win. You may be upset with it. Maybe you think it's easier to do it. Then fucking find a way to beat it, right? You don't sit there and bitch about, oh, someone in Street Fighter is turtling. Well, that's a strategy in Street Fighter. Fucking figure out how to beat it and stop being a scrub.
little to dissuade criticism. While viewers agreed that Jordy routinely displayed high-level gameplay, his usage of the strategy invoked occasional ire in the comment sections. This quickly wore at Jordy's patience, and he would soon begin to respond to these commenters. On November 23rd, less than a month after his first commentary upload, he created a video titled Point of Address, in which he discussed the multiple issues he had begun to face.
If I'm playing in a game, I don't want y'all to come in and try to join the game. Because what happens is you actually use my tips against me. I mean, I don't want to have to try hard every game I play.
Whoa, now wait a minute. All right, it's a double-edged sword, dude. Like, you gotta understand, if you reveal something about a game that's a valid strategy, absolutely you're making that public to the world, and people are gonna use that against everyone, not just you, but against everybody, you know? That's like me, playing Street Fighter and saying, oh, here's how you use this character, but then getting angry because someone learned how to use the character and played me and kicked my ass, right? Like, that's how it works. You put the content out there, and now it's public knowledge, and this is actually, in competitive games, a problem, I feel. You know, especially fighting games, it would take a while for people to learn the top strategies in a fighting game. Now people know them within 2 days. They know the whole meta of the game. So, back then, this was kind of a unique situation because there was not a ton of people all going out there and putting out top-tier strategies for a game right away. It was a new thing for YouTube. So I guess he's experiencing it for the first time and kind of freaking out about it. But hey, man, that's how it works. Is, you know, you put it out there, you got to live with the consequence of that. And if you told someone a way to beat you and then you get beat, like, now you got to find a way around it. Maybe your next video is how do you beat it, right?
Oh, and don't ask me what my penis size is and stuff.
What the
Serious
fuck?
questions.
What the?
I Hey, I'll seriously thumb down anybody who just messes around.
Completely out of nowhere.
You know, I'll put my finger up my dog's butt or something like that.
What the fuck?
Come on, guys, be serious.
Wow.
Later that same day, he released another video sharing a bit more about himself and his living situation,
Oh, really? He has a
asking
gun?
for donations towards an Xbox 360 so he could play with viewers.
First and foremost, a lot of people have asked me, am I going to ever invest in an Xbox?
Well, what was he playing on then?
I wouldn't mind getting an Xbox.
Was he playing
but
on
I'm
PS3?
currently unemployed at the time. I got laid off from my job
That sucks. Been there.
October 14th, and I'm currently on unemployment. So that means I cannot splurge whatsoever, because I went from making $1,000 a week to $350. There is another alternative. If 500 of you donate $1, I would be able to get an Xbox 360, Modern Warfare 2, a year's worth of Xbox Live, and the cables for the HD PVR. And I could play with the Xbox people. I mean, stress
The
do not have to
Xlax
give me money.
people?
How-
Now, guys, I have a tip for you. Right now, we have over 1,000 people on my stream. If each one of you just contributed $1 right now live to the stream, I would have $1,000, and I'd be very happy about that.
However,
Okay.
he also began feeling a need for his videos to perform well, and he noted what he perceived as the low number of ratings he was receiving in relation to his view counts.
My videos get around 2,000 views now, and they're still only getting 200 ratings.
That's great!
I spent a lot of time in these videos, and if you could just click any of the stars, I don't care if you want a 1 star.
Back when it was a
A
star
lot of
rating
time
system.
into 'em. Could you please just help me out?
That's a great
Watch the
10% engagement.
Put
It's
a,
huge on YouTube. It's actually really, really good. So
rating on it.
he actually had a good engagement ratio back
Because I
then.
put a lot of videos out. I'm not like other commentators that put one video out a week, where they have time to go back and do the animations and all this.
Animations.
I forget to do a lot of that mess because I just put videos out in bulk. I usually put like I've been putting.
It's a good thing he didn't put annotations, because then they removed annotations. They don't even exist anymore. YouTube just said, fuck all your work, and they deleted
In the
it
first
all.
2 months, Jordy had gained a reputation for speaking whatever came to his mind, but this propensity pulled him into controversy almost immediately.
Crispy Oreo is offline.
In a
Oh,
now
you missed it.
deleted
My camera's
video,
blocking it.
Jordy decried those who practiced a technique called quickscoping,
Oh!
arguing that it was too unrealistic to be legitimate.
I agree.
In particular,
I hate it. I think it's fucking bullshit. It's in the game, and all these idiots who fucking made it popular fucked the games up. Quickscoping should not be in first-person shooters. I agree
he
with
attacked another Call of Duty commentator who went by Hutch, who had a significantly larger viewer base at the time.
Fuck that
These
guy. No, I'm
comments
just kidding. Hutch and I haven't spoken in a million years. He was the guy who got me my partnership with Machinima back in the day. And we had beef on the internet because I don't even remember what it was. Like, someone asked me about him in a video, and I just basically responded to the question based on the information that was given to me in the question, which I guess was wrong. And Hutch got pissed at me and started making videos like, I hate Phil and shit. And then we went back and forth for a while, and we talked behind the scenes about it, and basically squashed the beef because it didn't make any sense. It was just a big misunderstanding. And then he actually got me my partnership at Machinima, which allowed me to start making money making videos back in 2011. So, yeah. But I don't know much about the guy as a content creator or anything.
perhaps unsurprisingly, drew ire from Hutch's viewers. Rather than allow the feud to continue, the two of them decided to hold what they called a friendly debate, in which the two of them would discuss their particular grievances with the other, chiefly their playstyles, and record it. This recording was later released as a commentary video on December 13th, 2009, hosted on Hutch's channel. As he
Interesting.
was introducing himself, Jordy revealed a few details about his own life.
Yo,
Thank
yo,
you,
yo,
Toro,
yo,
for the
it's your
super chat.
boy,
No, I'm not going
Wings
to
of
strike
Redemption.
down Wings.
That's quite an intro, buddy. Why don't you take it down a notch? Just, take it down maybe another 14 decibels.
Oh, the Ebonics thing is something that my channel came accustomed to. I stopped it at one point, and people requested me to bring it back. It's not how I actually
Where are you
talk.
from that you're speaking Ebonics?
I'm from Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. I actually grew up in the Holt Garden Projects.
You ought to get slapped in the
And,
nuts for speaking Ebonics if you're from North Carolina. I'm
South Carolina.
South Carolina. Oh, are you white?
Yeah, I'm white.
Oh.
White as it comes. But I did grow up in a black predominant neighborhood, and when I grew up, the kids I hung out with spoke Ebonics.
I guess that
That's not something I picked
qualifies
up.
you to speak Ebonics then, yeah.
The rest of the video states
I don't understand this at all. Like, so I grew up in a neighborhood where it was like a lot of different cultures and races, and everyone spoke a little differently. Obviously, I don't speak like that, but a lot of people who I knew did. What's wrong with that? Why do you have to be a certain race to speak a certain way? Actually, I think this is kind of messed up, the way that he's basically attacking him, kind of calling him like a poser or whatever. I don't think that that's valid. I actually disagree with this entirely. I do. I think it's kind of messed up that Hutch kind of attacked him like that, especially if he has a certain viewer base who, you know, that's how they know him, or that's what they're accustomed to. I think that that's kind of messed up. Right. The Drum Dojo just said, if you grow up in the ghetto, you're going to speak Ebonic. You're going to speak what everyone around you is speaking. So I don't get that at all. I think that Hutch here is kind of almost being kind of an elitist white guy in this situation, saying, oh, you're white, you shouldn't be speaking like that. Like, what? The fuck? Who the fuck are you to tell me how to talk, dickhead? Like, that's a dickhead comment right there. It really is. That's what I think anyway.
mostly civil,
Thank you to
with
Guitar Player
both
for a super
parties
chat.
waiting patiently for the other to make their point and speaking with an enthusiastic but restrained candor, even though they couldn't come to a consensus. With the drama successfully diffused, Jordy continued to upload videos to his channel, and he grew rapidly. His propensity for sharing information about his life would increase as well.
Okay,
Some people requested me to show some videos of some of my guns. I guess I'll start out with the Call of Duty guns that I own.
the Call of Duty
He would
guns
often
that
use
I
his
own?
firearms as filler images when he wished to upload commentary without video content,
the fuck?
specifically in his point of address videos, which became regular features of the channel. Around this time, he was beginning to attract the attention not only of viewers, but of other gameplay channels. On January 4th, 2010, he released a dual commentary video with another commentator, going by Woody's
So
Gamertag.
this is when this
A
started.
thing or two from Woody Gamertag.
Yeah,
Is that your actual name?
Woody's gamer tag is my actual gamer tag, and I go by Woody, the unexceptional gamer. So
This began
The
a trend of
unexceptional
inviting
gamer.
other commentators onto his channel to discuss the game and their opinions on strategy and tactics. He also had made a deal with Machinima to produce exclusive gameplay videos for their channel. Perhaps feeling a new phase of his life beginning, he quickly cut ties with a different communal channel, Persona Gaming, and he did so by publicly ridiculing other people on the channel.
Persona
They've
game, I
got
never
3 or
heard of
4
them.
people now that I just don't like. I mean, I don't want to say leeching off of us 3, but
With his viewer base growing, he began showcasing other creators of varying sizes that he
Really?
enjoyed by hosting their videos on his channel.
Because when Dr. Disrespect is surrounded by enemies,
What the fuck is this?
he means one thing, and one thing only.
He would also begin
That's a popular guy, everyone. That's what's popular today. That's popularity in a nutshell right there, what we just saw. This is what's popular today. I know this has nothing to do with the subject matter of the video, but this is what millions of people around the world are watching and supporting and contributing to. They love that. That's quality. Man, I really missed out. I mean, I should have put on like a Big Bird wig and painted my face fucking green and been Dandelion Man or something. And fucking, when Dandelion Man plays Call of Duty, he shits his pants 3 times. Okay.
performing product
continue.
reviews and partnering with other companies, though, like most other creators of the time, his production quality was limited. But his most successful inter-channel venture would begin 6 months after he began uploading. On April 27th, 2010, Jordy uploaded the first episode of a new podcast titled Painkiller Already, or PKA, alongside Call of Duty commentators Woody's Gamertag and FPS Russia, also known as FPS Kyle. The format was simple. The 3 hosts would talk with each other online and record the conversation, speaking with little direction and few notes. Podcasts of this kind were seeing a surge of popularity at the time, and with 3 relatively large names in the Call of Duty scene participating, along with a weekly upload schedule, it rapidly gained a considerable audience. Because these were made available almost entirely unedited, the production cost was extremely low, and their runtime would last anywhere from 1 hour to over 3 hours, tending to be longer as the series continued. Jordy's subscriber count began growing dramatically as the year continued, to the point that he felt comfortable showing his face.
But at any rate, it's your boy, Wings of Redemption. I'm signing out.
Now that he was partnered with Machinima and he was beginning to see significant amounts of money, his ego was beginning to grow proportionally.
Which definitely happens. I can attest to that. When you're getting popular, you're making the money, you think you're hot shit. You think your shit doesn't stink. I was the same. Let's continue.
This would manifest in frequent comments in his videos, rebuking those who disapproved of his playstyle, and he would even create a video where he again would attempt to legitimize his methods to those who disliked them.
Ho 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 ho. Time to do some bitching. Alright, recently I put out a video called Flawless on the Invasion. And a lot of people were crying about commentary, a lot of people were crying about camping, a lot of people were crying
Like usual,
about
crying about
weapon
everything.
selection.
They bitch about everything.
And let me
It's
address
true.
all this right now.
Constant bitching. It's never good
What
enough.
I did in that video was not camping in the least. I basically held down over half the map. Alright, I held down half the map and I was moving constantly. You do not have to be moving into new areas of the map to not be camping. Seriously, even
This is funny.
Seedanner says that mess, you know.
This is exactly what people used to say about me playing Street Fighter. That, oh, you're cheesing because you keep spamming fireballs, you keep doing that. I'm like, and that's valid gameplay. Should I not use things in the fucking game because you don't know how to beat it because you're a scrub? It's exactly what I used to say.
I mean, yeah, people will call me a fat nerd for that, but guess what? You'll just get your ass blocked. Straight up. And about people who tries to threaten me with unsubscribing. I don't give a fuck, cunt. I don't give a fuck, kid. Seriously. I will block you out of spear spite. Because I know people that really enjoy my site would be willing to watch my video twice to get rid of your ass. Nobody wants your ass around here. Nobody wants a hater on my channel. I don't want haters. My subscribers don't want haters.
Sadly,
you want to hate, you ain't a subscriber.
Sadly, what he's doing is just, it's going to make more. Now, I know that now, but back then we were all young and ignorant. We didn't know how it was going to work, and I was the same way. I would react to people talking shit about me. Yeah, it just creates worse reaction to you because now people know they can get that reaction. So now they're going to just purposely do it more and more and more, and it's just going to become exponential.
You block, that's what you are. Straight up. Excuse me, I got kind of like a little head cold.
But as his popularity and confidence increased, his patience diminished.
Oh, I
he
remember
began
this
to
map.
upload
I
highlight
totally remember
clips with
this.
increasing frequency, showcasing gameplay that frustrated him. This propensity for responding to negative comments became a part of Jordy's online image in the months following his channel's launch, and soon this would attract the attention of a group looking for people specifically like him. At the same time that Call of Duty commentary was gaining popularity, a group called the Federation of Asshole Gamers, or FAG, was organizing and releasing videos. Though they had no set formula for their efforts, it would typically involve a leading member streaming themselves playing a game and either harassing a single person themselves or organizing a group to harass one or more people in the same game with the streamer.
No, it can't be. Keemstar. Is this the Keemstar we're talking about? Now I'm like double intrigued. What the fuck?
Among the most popular within the group was a man named Daniel Keem, better known as DJ Keemstar.
What the fuck?
I got a rocket. I got a red rocket.
Oh my god, what the fuck?
Say my name. Say my name. Say Keemstar. Say Keemstar. Go girl. Go girl.
At some point in
I don't even know if I have to say anything. Right? Like, that's the guy the internet made popular. That's the guy, right? Who puts out the drama show. That's what's popular. So far, we've seen Dr. Disrespect and Keemstar, where they came from, right? This is the guy. This is who people support, right? Oh, he's an entertainer, I'm being told. That's entertainment. That's entertainment to people. Yeah, people who, like, suck the exhaust pipe of a fucking automobile, maybe. I mean, what the fuck, man? Holy shit.
Mid-2010, another Call of Duty commentator known as That Guy Who Camps approached Keemstar, stating that Jordy had been attacking him, and so the FAG, led by Keemstar, organized a mass false flagging operation on his channel, in which a large number of their viewer base flagged Jordy's channel videos as being inappropriate in order to have it removed from YouTube. In response, Jordy created a video asking people to persuade members of the FAG away from flagging his channel, though his tone sounded more fed up than frustrated.
They're going to be trying to flag and thumbs down my videos, which in result will getting my account banned. And
Thank you for the tip, Anonymous.
The long, lengthy process of getting it back. To help protect my channel, if you could go and not subscribe to his live stream, but go in the comment section and persuade people not to do this. I'm not telling you to flag his videos or anything, or his channel, because I'm already got footage of his channel threatening my personal space and my personal use, and I'm gonna try to send that to the administration department over at Blog TV and see if that gets done. But I'm not telling you to take any action. Let me get that point clear.
Doesn't matter.
But let's work and try to keep my channel live if possible. Thank you.
This request proved ineffectual, and the FAG was able to successfully abuse YouTube's automated systems, racking up over 30 strikes on his channel.
Wow!
Protected by Machinima, his channel would remain on the site, but Machinima demanded that Jordy resolve the issue, and so he organized a meeting with
Wait. Demanded he resolve the issue? He didn't break the law. What the fuck is that? He didn't do it. He didn't break the fucking law and put in false copyright strikes or flags or whatever. How is it his problem or his fault? Machinima, as his partner network, should have stepped in with YouTube and resolved the issue. If anything, this is a problem with these fucking partner networks, and Machinima in particular. That's what you're paying them for. They're taking a cut of your money, of ad revenue. It's like you're having an agent. That's what they should have done. Why is he fixing the problem? You fixed the fucking problem. You're taking my money. That pisses me off right there. And I worked for them for a long time. That pisses me off that they fucking made it his problem.
Keemstar, moderated by another Call of Duty commentator. Jordy at first played innocent, but it soon became clear that he had counterattacked Keemstar with similar vigor by weaponizing his viewer base.
DJ Keemstar, have you ever thought that everything I do is behind the scenes because I'm not doing anything?
I don't know. I don't believe that. I've seen a conversation with you and Two Bucks on Skype, and again, Two Bucks.
And that conversation was me asking Two Bucks to talk to you to get you to stop, spamming my channel.
Oh, you're threatening him that you're going to sue us, you're going to do this, you're going to do that, you're saying jail time, you're saying...
Because he was putting up one of those fronts just like everybody else, and it was more of a scare tactic.
It's confusing.
But see,
Who's $2?
That's behind the scenes kind of stuff.
This last round was caused by a comment that Wings wrote. He said, and I believe this is the correct quote, "Nick, I don't know if you've noticed, but I've already killed FAG." I don't understand why you wrote that comment, because our channel is being under attack. There's false copyright complaints on it to the point that it's suspended until YouTube reviews it. And now we have someone that's taking credit for killing our channel. I don't understand why you wrote that.
You should have seen that was going to come anyway. You attacked a channel that was 4 times your size. I mean...
Well, we have 62,000 subscribers. I believe you have 90.
And I have 100,000 subscribers, and I also have 120,000 podcast viewers that don't even look at YouTube.
Any thoughts on our discussion here?
The documentary is presuming that this gamer group, the Federation, had issue with Wings because Wings had been talking shit about them in his video. So they initiated a false flag campaign against his, so they fired first. They broke the law. They fired first. He talked about it in his videos, and that just basically made it so that his viewers went back and did it to them, and it became this endless cycle of bullshit to the point where Machinima was saving his channel saying it won't get shut down, but we need you to resolve this because it can't keep happening, which should have been Machinima's fault. Machinima should have interjected and said, "This is them breaking the law, YouTube. Don't fucking get any of us involved. Stop them from breaking the law and fix your automated system." When I had false flags against my channel, oh, just delete all your videos. You want me to delete all my videos? How about you tell YouTube to fix their broken shit so that I don't have to delete all my content off my channel. No, just delete your videos. That's the only way to fix it. Oh, okay, I'm being told the Federation also was part of Machinima. So essentially, these are two groups within the same partnership company fighting with each other. I'm glad I never got involved with this kind of drama shit. Seriously, like, this is why everyone asks, oh, why don't you do this, do that? I just want to make my videos and do my own shit. I don't want to be involved with internet feuds and shit against people. That's how stupid this is. So now, all you want to do is make content on the internet and make a living doing it, and instead you got to deal with all this shit taking down your channel, and it's fucked up. It's really stupid. All right, ready? Let's continue.
Wings.
Yeah, I'll ceasefire.
But this apparently wasn't justice enough for Jordy. Immediately following the stream, and after asking if they had privacy, Jordy had one last threat to pose to Keemstar, one far beyond what either had levied against one another so far.
Alright, well I got your DJ Keemstar, I've run some stuff by you. Is your P.O. Box 148 Holland, New York 1408?
That's correct. That's correct.
Is your street address?
Whoa, that's not good.
140809-702.
That's incorrect. That's incorrect.
Right.
I don't give my personal where I live at. I don't give that out.
Is your girlfriend named Melissa R?
Whoa!
Yes, she is.
Is her phone number 7165?
Wow.
8263.
Okay, can I ask you why you're trying to get my personal information?
I'm just trying to see how much of this is correct.
Whoa.
Because I gave some of this information to Fisticuffs.
You gave my personal information to Fisticuffs?
Oh, not good.
Yep.
Okay, so should I find out what trailer park you live in and announce that to the world?
I don't live in a trailer park, my man.
Wait, so
what
was the motivation behind this action?
This is, well, basically, I did some digging, and I tried to find everything I could find out about him in case he actually did drop my YouTube channel.
Alright. Well, this is a good example, though, Wings. Like,
is this Woody?
I was going to take a trip up to New York.
Wow.
You might be going back looking like a raccoon.
What is this bullshit? You're two guys who play fucking video games on the internet. What is this machismo fucking bullshit that people go through with this stuff? Okay, seriously. Let me give you a frame of reference. Because I did go through this once when I was much younger and immature. When I was part of the Street Fighter community, the competitive Street Fighter community, okay? It was all about who's the big badass, who's the best player, but it was also about fucking bullshit machismo, look at me, be afraid of me, yada, yada, yada. And yes, there were absolutely times when people would actually threaten others like this. I was actually part of that. I will openly, wholeheartedly admit it now because I look back at that time in my life and regret it. By the way, this was probably between the years of 2000 to maybe like the year 2004, 2005. Maybe like 5 years of my life where I was seriously heavily into competitive Street Fighter and I was basically like a troll, an asshole online. I absolutely said shit like that. I remember specifically making posts saying stuff like, I'm going to come to a tournament and if anyone, talks shit, I'm going to put them in a trash can where they belong. I said shit like that back in the day, okay? I was an asshole, all right? You're two guys on the internet making Call of Duty content. You're commentating over it. You're making money doing it. You get to sit here and you get to play a video game and make money doing it. You're not hot shit. You're not something special. Why the fuck do you think that you're like some hard ass? And I see this all the time too. It's not just Wings. It's not just Keem. It's not just these people. You're fucking sitting in front of a camera and you talk to people on the internet and you are privileged enough to make money doing it. While everyone else out there has to bust their ass working at shit jobs that they hate to make a living, you have the privilege to sit at home and make a paycheck doing something you enjoy, and you're gonna sit here like you're some kind of a hard ass, badass because you fucking do it. Like, you should be happy and grateful that you get to do what you love for a living and not make it like you're some fucking god that is infallible and you don't fuck with me or I'll crush you like an ant. Like, what is this fucking mentality, right? Now, again, this is something that I experienced when I was much younger and I was immature. We're talking like maybe my early 20s. I was like this, okay? But I grew out of it. Thank God. Because if I was still like this today, I probably would not be doing this anymore. I'd be long gone. I would have been... So to me, like, hearing that is like, I understand it's your business. It is. It's your business. You're making money. This is your living. You were dependent on it working to pay your bills, to make a living. I get that. I totally understand that. It's very serious to have your business shut down by people breaking the law. This is essentially law breaking. False flags, copyright strikes, that's against the law. It's sad that there's no way really to enforce this law on the internet and make sure that people can't do this because YouTube is automated. And this happened to me many times. In my life, I'm not joking, people threatened to come to my house and beat me up for Street Fighter shit. And every time I was like, come on down. Never happened, thank God. But if it did happen, you know, it probably wouldn't have been pretty. It's stupid as fuck. For what? Over what? That is absolutely positively, I cannot defend Wings in this situation. That was completely uncalled for. If this was a serious situation where it kept going, if he was making enough money, he should have contacted a lawyer and slapped him with a restraining order saying, boom, if you keep false flagging, I'm going to sue you into oblivion because it's against the law. That's the extent that you should have done it. You can't be doing that shit. I don't care. You'll notice I just don't give a shit. I think it's actually a nice hat. It's comfortable. There we go. All right. Now we're ready to go down the rabbit hole. You just got to have the right outfit, okay? All right, here we go.
Maybe, like, none of this would have been necessary. You know, maybe even if you did it on your own, you didn't need to bring it up now, though. You know what I mean?
I'm just letting him know that. I'm just letting him know it's out there, and that way he won't be surprised.
Do you know how many people threaten me a day? It's like I know that you're a bully and that you get off on bullying people. But like, I'm one person that is just gonna constantly have
He just said that to someone else? Wow. He actually said that to someone else.
middle finger in the air. It's never gonna go down. It's always gonna be fuck you. No one is ever gonna fucking talk me into submission or anything. So whatever you're trying to do, just stop now. Because the middle finger is right here.
I'm letting you know that I did give away some of your personal information.
I'm not intimidated in any way.
I'm not trying to intimidate you.
Yes, you are. Yes, you are. Trying to say my girlfriend's name. And trying to say where I live, what my P.O. box is.
All right, all I will say is thus, all right? Go watch a history video about this guy, right? It's basically, it's the pot calling the kettle black. Let's just put it that way.
Not be fucking weird Silence of the Lambs about it, Wings. And,
Hey, I can't help. I'm a precision marksman.
Despite this threat, it appears nothing more came of it. Still, the FAG channel on YouTube would remain permanently offline, while Jordy's would survive with little to no lasting impact.
So they were gone.
In the year and a half
permanently
that
gone.
passed, Jordy would reveal more of himself and his personal life. Of note were the videos of his brother, who had recorded them to send to his family while on deployment in the military, and another of him returning home for a visit. Jordy would become more and more comfortable showing his face as well, which garnered him occasional ridicule over his weight. Over time, he would begin to use his channel for numerous things other than his gaming videos. He continued the practice of allowing other Call of Duty commentators to upload a video onto his channel, perhaps in an effort to help others grow in the same way that he had grown. He would also occasionally make philanthropic videos, such as an instance in which he gave a specialized controller to a paraplegic gamer, or when he began requesting donations for a charity. As Jordy's channel grew, so did his podcast, and he quickly established himself as the central fixture within it, earning a considerable income. Though the numbers are not precisely known, Jordy's financial situation had improved considerably, and according to FPS Kyle, he was making approximately $10,000 a month at this time. Despite this, he still seemed to casually treat his channel as a personal repository. More egregiously, he uploaded another person's video from Twitter onto his channel under the pretense that he simply wanted to share it.
You might think, man, Wings, you got 1,000 videos of your own. Why would you need to steal? I don't need to steal. The way it is a misunderstanding, and it was blown way out of proportion like everything is with me. That's why I'm always so bitter and always angry at everything. The way it is a misunderstanding.
Okay. God damn it.
It was blown way out of
A right
proportion
bumper
like
jumps you to another
everything is with
video?
me.
That's terrible.
That's
How
why
do I
I'm always so
disable my
bitter and
bumpers?
always angry at everything. Xbox dance.
Okay. Xbox. Oh god, it's the Kinect. Fucking stupid ass Kinect. That's a cute dog.
By this point, he had also begun dating a woman named Shalene, whom he had met on a dating website. Shalene was already a mother of 2 children before they had met, and Jordy quickly took to a parental role. He began providing financially for the 3 of them in every way, as Shalene had no job and seemed to have little desire to get one, instead choosing to rely on Jordy's income as she raised her children. It was also around this time that Jordy was beginning to receive more harassment in the comments of his videos.
I will say this. I will say this, and this is just coming from a perspective of someone who's had a lot of shit thrown about my personal life and shit. This is likely speculation. How do you really know what happened in this situation? Do we have factual evidence, or is this a lot of supposition, a lot of guesswork? And personally for me, like, okay, I care about the video he puts out. I care about what he says in his content. I don't care about behind the scenes shit about someone's personal life. But sadly, being someone who's had his personal life dragged through the mud, you know, I understand how this could be a big thing for people who make content. But I'm actually a little upset about this, because how do you know this is right? Now, again, I don't know. I'm assuming everything in this video is correct. That's the stance I'm taking on it, because I don't know. Let's continue.
Reacting to it more and more. He gained a reputation for being aggressive to his subscribers, something he would attempt to refute.
The thing is, I get criticized and ridiculed all the damn time, saying I hate my subscribers. I don't care about my subscribers. I don't care about dumbasses. Look here, if you want to sit here and criticize and belittle me and say I ain't shit or that I'm fat, fuck you. I don't give a shit about your ass. And for the most part, a lot of my subscribers are not up to par. Nobody wants to play with a guy that goes, 14-14. Nobody wants to play with a guy that's a liability on your team. Do you really want to play with a guy going 2-27 and you're dodging air support because of him? No, you don't. I might have anger issues, and I might have a little social issues from being always a loner and being overweight and all. And that addresses a lot of the things why I can't be like a Woody's gamer tag and be like, everything's gonna be all right, and and give that kind of fatherly like advice. But I am what I am, and that's the only thing I can do. I don't try to stress over things I cannot change.
Though he claimed not to care, he continued to dedicate not only mentions, but entire videos to arguing against these comments. This culminated in a video released on April 10th, 2011, titled, "This is Why I Am Always Hostile," in which members of his team during a game of Call of Duty derided him and shouted his username.
WingsOfRedemption!
Fuck, we lost A.
See? This, you know what? And this genuinely pisses me off, because this is the kind of shit idiots do. And I will at least say this, that thank God that I never became dependent on online gameplay like this where you had to play with other people, because people, if they feel that they can get any kind of attention at all, they will do it. And you've seen it in my videos, like watch me playing any multiplayer game where basically I had the voice chat on, and you always get these idiots. And thank God that for me, I mostly make offline single player style content, that it doesn't affect what I do, because the few times that I do multiplayer, it usually does affect it. But this guy, all he does is play multiplayer, right? Like at this point in his career, he was just doing Call of Duty. Now imagine that all of a sudden you went from being a popular guy, and all of a sudden now you became the guy to deride, the guy to bring down, and they figured, this is why I turned my YouTube comments off for almost 5 years. Because people were literally coming to my YouTube channel just to say the nasty, it was like a competition. Who can say the nastiest, most disgusting, vile thing in the comments that will make everyone upset, right? So I completely understand this, and this is upsetting to me because this is something that I've been a victim of. But luckily for me, I'm kind of immune to having everything ruined because I don't just play multiplayer all day like he was doing at this point. Okay?
Yo, it's your boy, WingsOfRedemption!
Wow.
Hey, WingsOfRedemption, you got any more ice cream, you badass?
This video likely had the unintentional side effect of spurring such harassment, as he was now giving them attention in videos, beginning a cycle of harassment and encouragement.
Exactly.
But even as he was losing patience with viewers, he was mending relationships with other creators and building connections. For example, on July 3rd of 2011, he uploaded a video of himself in person with Keemstar.
Wow.
Perhaps more surprising was the fact that they were at the mansion of Alki David, a man who had inherited a net worth of $1.5 billion to compete in Call of Duty for a cash prize. This event was interchangeably called the Battle Cam Bowl and the Billionaire Showdown. Despite these promising prospects, his confrontational attitude would only worsen until it culminated in an event that many considered to be the moment when his career changed completely.
Really? Okay, what is this? I have no idea.
On August 25th, 2011, the hosts of the Painkiller Already podcast gathered to record their 67th episode to thousands of viewers live. They had eventually chosen to change their recording methods. Rather than simply recording and then uploading the podcast to hosting sites and YouTube, they would stream their recording sessions to Justin
live
TV
streaming.
with 3 main sections: a pre-show, the podcast itself, and a post-show. While the podcast would only run for approximately an hour and a half, this stream would last for upwards of 3 hours, sandwiching the official part of the podcast with casual conversation. This particular week, their guest was an up-and-coming Call of Duty commentator who went by Syndicate. Syndicate had gained popularity
now,
by
isn't
playing
he?
the cooperative game mode in Call of Duty called Nazi Zombies,
Ah,
or
this is when it
simply
was becoming
Zombies,
prominent.
which eschewed human opponents in
2011.
favor of AI-controlled hordes of enemies.
Okay.
For the majority of the stream, the episode proceeded as normal, with Jordy discussing his newfound fatherhood.
I'm really digging the whole father figure kind. It's cool seeing like you're doing stuff with them and they're responding to it, and you know you're actually getting through to it, and you win those little battles, and those little battles feel like you win wars. It's like you're just getting him to say what he feels, like instead of I don't know or because.
However, during the post-stream, Jordy began to mention his low opinion of Syndicate's abilities and his chosen play mode, while simultaneously showing his ignorance about it.
If you want to try and get all the zombies, like say it's an insta kill and there's a zombie to your right, you know, you want to make the most of it or something. Or is it
You know,
huge
I've had this debate with people so often. Let's just go back to multiplayer, so where my experience is at.
But wait, we're not talking about multiplayer, right? Like, I think Syndicate would...
No. There's no difference. What's the difference between a zombie behind
Zombies,
you
I always
and a
say-
guy with a gun behind you? What's the difference?
The difference is if you're facing one way, you're going to turn all the way to turn around to the zombie, and you haven't got quick revival.
I look at it like
you're gonna knife that zombie,
this.
but an instant
If
kill,
you
then
get yourself in that
you're down.
position,
He's gonna
you
hit you
deserve
twice,
to
you go
die.
down. Not at all, because
No,
zombies.
This is confusing. They're talking about apples and oranges. The multiplayer against other humans is completely different from Nazi zombies. It's not even the same premise of the game. Like, it really does feel like you're playing a different game, you know? Yeah, you're still running around shooting stuff, but this is a weird discussion. It seems like Wings hates zombies here. Like, maybe Wings doesn't do zombies, doesn't play it, and therefore he either is misunderstanding what it is, doesn't want it to seem like it's important or prominent because he likes multiplayer more, so he's kind of like down-talking zombies. Now, for me, again, I can give a frame of reference. I've done shit like this in the past. Something that I didn't understand or personally didn't like, and I would talk shit about it and end up looking like a jackass because of it. And then later on, I would go on to actually like try it and realize how stupid I was because I liked it. Like I did this with Minecraft. For years, I shat on Minecraft saying, oh, it's just a game for kids. There's no value to it. It's really stupid. And then I ended up actually trying
argued
and really liking it. So it sounds to me like that's kind of the similar situation here where he didn't like zombies or just didn't want to bother with it. He thought multiplayer was where it was at, but then he hated on other people who played zombies. And why would you have someone on your show known for zombies just to shit on them because they play zombies? That's weird. Okay.
And Jordy continued to profess his skill. Woody had a proposition.
I'm just gonna say this: you're talking to a guy who's probably 4 times the multiplayer than you are.
Wow.
And
Here we go again.
No matter. It doesn't matter. There's no difference.
Right?
I bet
You're
you. I
talking
bet
to
you
a guy
right.
who's
I
4
bet
times
you
the
right
zombie
now.
player you are.
I bet you right now I could get on zombies and stay toe for toe with Tom and not even know the fucking map. You know why?
Oh, let's do it.
Oh
baby.
yeah, there
You
it
know
is.
why? You know why I can do this? Because I use my brain.
Oh
I think,
my
well,
God.
where's my
Why?
back?
Oh yeah. Let's
Here
show
it is. It's the edict again. The edict syndrome. Oh, I'm the hot shit. I'm the cock of the walk. I'm the big boy. I could do whatever. I'll jump into any game. I could play any game at a professional level. That sounds like a quote from somewhere. Yeah, and this is the kind of shit that I used to do when I was in the Street Fighter community. I would talk shit constantly. I mean, I'm the big, I could do this and that. Like, it's definitely an ego problem. He obviously thinks because he's hot shit on YouTube for his videos that he's the best of anyone.
That's why
I'm not about to go. I'm not about to get on and play 6 hours.
What? You are not gonna play 6 hours anyway.
Soon, Woody and fellow commentator Redneck were teasing and goading Jordy.
You're going to beat me on zombies because you play on 2 sensitivity, whereas I play on insane.
I'm saying
That's why you call me out.
insane does not mean shit.
Syndicate, I'd like to add this to the conversation. I am also much better at zombies than you, but I refuse to play or prove it or stream it or provide any kind of evidence about it because it would take me too long.
I didn't say I was better. I said I'd go toe for toe with him. Like I would kill.
Okay,
just
all right. Well then, I take it back. Tom, I am just as good as you, but I refuse to play.
It's boring as fuck. Like,
You know, what is this dynamic? I thought that Woody's gamer tag and Wings were friends. This seems more to me like he's like an asshole to him. Like maybe that was their relationship. Was that Wings was known as the big hot shit, but Woody's gamer tag was the guy who would play off of him as like a foil, or because I thought they were like buddy, but this is kind of like the actual opposite, where he seems to be like actually purposely setting up Wings for disaster, but thinking maybe they'll get something positive out of it. I don't know. Yeah, this isn't, to me, this is like, that's not like backing you up. He's definitely razzing him and like setting him up.
They discussed further. Wings continued to describe his superiority in both skill and content creation.
Me, it's just a whole different thing. I try not to be fake, and me not being fake makes a lot of people not like me.
Not being fake.
Not being fake.
So you mean like...
Woody, however, had a retort that revealed quite a bit about Jordy's personality.
Your online personality didn't match your in real life personality.
Shit does.
No, so my experience with
he's
Jordy,
blowing up
as
his
opposed
spot
to
here.
Wings, was that in real life you were much more sensitive, much more caring. In real life you were like almost gentle. Sounds like a put down. It's not what I'm going for. But you were nice to everybody, and there were. Yeah, I don't mean to. None of this is
blowing up his spot.
But there was like an endearing level of insecurity, right? Whereas like the Wings of Redemption in a lobby is full of bravado. I'm the best player to ever exist. I can beat Syndicate in zombies, right? Like, but the Wings of Redemption that I met in real life in Beverly Hills, like not everything is easy for him. Not everything is so great, and he's caring about other people, and he was true and honest, and he was himself, but he wasn't.
Thank you, Rayhan, for the membership.
Like beat you over the head with self-confidence kind of guy at Beverly Hills.
So, 100% me too. Back when I was in Street Fighter, I was the biggest fucking shit-talking, shit-spewing asshole. I was toxic as shit online on the forums. I would troll the fuck out of people. I would say, I'm going to throw you in a trash can. Then in real life, I'd be nice. I don't know what it was. I don't know. Everyone liked me in person, too. Anyone who met me at, like, a tournament actually was like, oh, you're, like, a nice guy, and you're cool to chill with and everything. I was an easygoing guy in person, just a complete dickhead online. I don't know why, but I learned over time that that's a very bad thing to do, and luckily over time I kind of grew out of it and I stopped doing it. So maybe, let's be honest here, if I didn't have the experience I had in the competitive Street Fighter community, I very well may have been at just as much of an asshole online as well as Wings was. I had that experience coming from Street Fighter to realize what I did was stupid. I had way more fun in Street Fighter when I stopped being like that and became more of a guy. I ran tournaments. I was friendly. I did all nice things for like the second half of my competitive Street Fighter career, and people liked me because of it. So he essentially didn't have the frame of reference, you see. He didn't have it. So he went into this thinking, oh, this is my persona online, be a cocky asshole. But it looks to me like eventually now this is going to shoot him in the ass. Because I don't think anything good is going to come about what's happening in this conversation.
Lick his face.
Well, at the one time, yeah.
Soon after, just as they seemed to be forgetting about the challenge Woody had suggested, Jordy went back to bragging. And while Syndicate had initially been humble, he shared his confidence in his ability at previous titles in the series.
I'm not upset about anything, dude.
I gotta take a piss.
I just know what I know what I've been to, and I've played with every single commentator there is to play.
It's because I've got quite a lot of friends who, like in the same frame of mind, and it's like there's no change in it. I know, like most common ones I've played in the most is COD 4 and Modern Warfare 2, and I could probably beat you in them too. Well, I'd do it for the fun of it. I'd go for it.
Wow.
Let's do it.
So what map are we playing? I'll get my ass slapped, I know, but I'd still do it.
See, the thing is...
But as Jordy's braggadocious claims reached their height, his anxieties were also revealed.
Well,
you know the reason I don't do it? Because if I happen to lose, I hear about it for years.
Yep. Exactly. That's exactly why LTG wouldn't play me. LTG, low tier god, very infamous person in the Street Fighter community. I challenged him to play Street Fighter many years ago, and he refused because he said, I have nothing to gain. If I win, I get nothing. If I lose, I basically get shit for it. And I can understand that mentality. I do. I kind of understand that. But then again, if you're going to talk so big, you have to back it up. He's literally here saying, I'm the best at everything, but then he refuses to back it up. You can't do that. Then if that's the thing, if you're going to not accept the challenge, then don't talk like that.
Would you hit
right?
that for years?
Yes,
Probably not, because I wouldn't bring it up again.
No, but everybody in the stream would, and then they would tell somebody else, and then people that don't like me would get to it and start coming to the videos and saying it.
Yeah, but why do you care?
But I know I'm not going to lose to you.
Due to his console being in a separate room from his
lost to him, didn't
PC,
he?
Syndicate could listen to the call as the other three discussed, but could not speak for the duration of the game.
Oh,
as
so this is
Syndicate
it?
left
Oh,
to
shit.
turn on his console, Jordy played a warm-up match. Soon, their duel began.
Okay.
Jordy and
Okay. Here we go.
Syndicate utilized radically different playstyles. As previously mentioned, Jordy preferred positions that
Camping.
offered control over the map, and
Right.
once he reached them, he would remain mostly static, exploiting the strength that the location provided. Syndicate,
smart play.
however, preferred a more mobile playstyle, rapidly moving from location to location in order to gain an advantage over his opponent and to make himself difficult to locate
Right.
and
And an
pin.
element of
They would
surprise and
play on
adapting.
Bog, a map with a few
Bog!
long sight lines, and they would use M16s, a relatively long range and high damage weapon. These
So, for perspective, I played a lot of Modern Warfare when it was a new game. Okay, I know this map, and I know the M16 rifle. I know all about what we're about to see. I just have never seen it. So this is going to be interesting to me. I even know Bog is an interesting map. If you take control of that central point, that big pile, you get a really good viewpoint around the map, and it makes it hard for people to take the central point again. That's how people would play it online, is they would try to dominate the center. Let's see what happens.
choices clearly favored Jordy's style, but Syndicate acquiesced, perhaps because he was unconcerned
Airport.
with
Oh, I love
victory
that stage.
and was more
I love this
interested in
stage,
sating Jordy's ego. The game would end either after 10
This is
minutes
Modern Warfare
or
2,
after
by the
one
way, right? Modern
person
Warfare
had scored
2?
30 kills. The map
Yeah.
on which they were to play was defined by a single
There it
central
is.
location, known colloquially as the trash pile
Okay,
or
it's the
the
trash
hill.
pile.
This hill not only offers omnidirectional cover for whomever controls it, but its height allows the person to apply pressure across the majority of the map, meaning that many games played on it are focused almost entirely on controlling this position.
And
By
it
the
was
time the
bad
match
in that
began,
regard.
approximately 4,000 people had gathered to watch,
Wow!
a considerable number for the time.
Wow!
Jordy spawned on the southern side of the map, while Syndicate spawned in the northeastern corner. Moving quickly, Jordy
Holy
discovered
crap,
Syndicate's
step by
position
step.
early.
All right, I'm very happy that my days of competitive Street Fighter were a long time ago, because I used to get involved in hype money matches and shit with people. Imagine if someone like recorded and completely step-by-step dissected me sucking ass in like Marvel vs. Capcom 2 and losing to someone, losing tons of money. I've lost upwards of $1,000 in money matches that I thought for sure I was going to win, and I lost. I choked. So imagine if they fucking tore that shit up. Oh, this is Modern Warfare 1, the original. They were playing on the original. Okay. All right, here we go.
And within the first 12 seconds of the game, he had taken the first kill. But already, there was a problem. Jordy realized that they had forgotten to turn on the radar, so that neither Jordy nor Syndicate could tell the position of the other player without seeing them or hearing them. This meant that whoever was losing would be forced to play far more aggressively than normal in order to retake the lead before the timer ran out. Jordy noticed this immediately, stating that all he had to do was sit still and listen for Syndicate's footsteps.
You probably should have paraded our own, because I can sit there and be a bitch and just sound whore now.
However, due to his slurred speech and poor microphone quality, many people interpreted this statement as insulting Syndicate and acting cocky. Syndicate, undeterred, respawned and immediately took the trash pile, using it to get his first kill. Perhaps looking to test Syndicate's abilities and find his weaknesses, Jordy began experimenting with new tactics, engaging from farther away and attempting to sneak behind him, but Syndicate proved prepared for each instance.
Yeah, this map is a
Finally,
bitch like
with a bit
this.
of luck, Jordy spawned behind Syndicate, dislodging him from the hill.
Okay.
The positions reversed, Jordy had his chance to catch up,
He
soon
should be
getting another
dominating
kill,
now.
setting the score at 3-4.
This
But
is that's his play style. He's a camper, so now he should be like dominating this match from now on once he took it, right?
Syndicate had an unforeseen advantage. Though he had never seen Jordy's gameplay, he knew that Jordy favored more passive strategies, and based on this knowledge, he took a gamble. Syndicate threw 2 grenades toward the trash pile. One landed wide, but the other landed directly on top of Jordy,
Oh.
forcing him off of the power position.
Psychic nades.
Miracle nade? Almost. hit.
Miracle nade.
Oh my god.
Oh, miracle nade.
Too far to reliably retake the hill, Syndicate ran farther west and hunkered down behind cover, and Jordy followed. However, perhaps suspecting such, Syndicate turned and took another kill with a single burst as Jordy ran towards him, with no chance of a rebuttal. Spawning on the other side of him, Jordy attempted to catch Syndicate by surprise, but again, Syndicate was too quick, and a single burst was enough to finish off. Now with over double Jordy's score, Syndicate was in a comfortable lead, defying the expectations of nearly everybody present. But while the other people in the voice call were laughing and enjoying themselves, Jordy's mood was souring. Having just insulted the ability of his opponent, and with his reputation as one of the most popular Call of Duty players, he felt pressured not only to win, but to do so convincingly. Now that he was losing, his confidence was proving more fragile than his boasts had suggested. Jordy again spawned on the trash pile, taking another kill as Syndicate attempted to reposition, but he was removed from it almost immediately after another engagement.
Damn.
Good lord.
He's so done. How would you
Despite
ever
his
come
lead,
back?
Syndicate chose not to remain sedentary, instead moving about the map and searching for the next engagement in adherence to etiquette. By this point, the stream had reached approximately 7,000 viewers. Jordy respawned south of the hill and made a dash for it, but was caught by Syndicate and pinned behind a piece of cover. As Jordy stayed in place, Syndicate moved west and, again predicting Jordy correctly, flanked him and took another kill.
Is he still sitting over there, just crouching?
I'm sorry, I can't tell you where he is. It wouldn't be right.
Anyway, my take on this is, I feel that Wings, if he had gone a different way with his content, could have avoided all of this. Because what it was he became a top Call of Duty guy, and he felt like his road to success was to prove that he was the best. I want to show that I'm better than you, and yada yada yada. But Wings, from what I can tell, people liked his personality. They liked the stories he would tell, and where he came from. He could have been more of a charismatic content creator than always having to worry about his reputation of being the best, like we were talking about earlier, his ego. Instead of that, okay, you see Call of Duty is going a different way. Call of Duty is now going towards zombies, it's going towards quickscoping, it's going towards things you don't like, but you have a following. So steer that following in the direction where you can still have fun, but not have to be the best. That's what I did with Street Fighter. When I saw that Street Fighter was going in a direction I didn't really like, Street Fighter 4, the game got dumbed down, the controls were lax. I didn't really like the competitive nature of the game that much. I still tried for about a year. I failed. I was not going to be a top player. I said, all right, you know what? I'm going to continue to cover this stuff, but I'm going to turn it in a direction where it's entertaining rather than you're watching this for expertise. I didn't have to ever be the best at Street Fighter because I didn't position myself like that. I told you guys outright I'm not good at this. I'm just fucking around with a new character today. My Madness series online where I would focus on one character and just play them and lose a ton if I sucked with them. Who cared? That wasn't the point of the series that I was doing. I was just trying to be entertaining with the game. I think that he could have done that if he stopped pushing his ego like he did and instead was like, okay, I'm just going to be the guy who's going to be entertaining and fun. You watch me because you want my takes on games, but you don't have to worry about me being great. I don't have to be the best. But it seems like because he was so adamant on honing in on that style that he set himself up for disaster when ultimately the next generation of gamers was going to come up like Pro Syndicate. Okay.
As the two hunted each other, with pressure mounting, Jordy began to accuse Syndicate of misconduct only seconds before the shot of the next engagement began from across the map.
Girls lately.
Look here, let me. Why don't you go and make a comment that there's not been a shot fired in almost 2 minutes because Syndicate's laying on his belly somewhere.
Which he's not.
No, he's not.
He immediately shot him.
After a relatively long fight, Wings took the kill, but he would have to win these fights much faster for a chance at victory. Suspecting that Wings had again taken cover at the hill, Syndicate threw another 2 grenades at the location, but Wings had anticipated this and moved to a different piece of cover farther east. Catching Syndicate unaware, he took yet another kill for himself and finally began to close the gap in score. Slowing down the pace of the match, he again lodged himself into the hill, taking his comfortable defensive posture, knowing that Syndicate wouldn't want to hide and wait out the timer. But in a straightforward duel, Syndicate again proved Jordy's match. It would be nearly another minute before the two saw each other again, and Jordy was losing patience, demanding that Woody tell him Syndicate's location.
Whoa! Dude, he's just fucking hiding. Look, I'm looking at the fucking map right now. Where's he at?
Oh, I see him. He's not hiding. He's looking for you.
I'm standing out in the fucking open. He can't see this because he's too busy laying on his belly half the time.
That's not true. Like, we can all see what he's doing.
Yeah, he's not doing a good job.
With less than 2.5 minutes remaining and a 4-kill lead in Syndicate's favor, Jordy was forced to change tactics.
Yep.
Spotting Syndicate in the south, he threw a single grenade for a kill, but this was followed by a time-consuming duel that saw Syndicate the victor, time that Jordy could no longer afford. Jordy began chasing after Syndicate over and over, desperately trying to close the score.
Once you can't
but
play
for
your
each
style
kill that
anymore,
he
you're
gained,
done.
Syndicate would gain at least one more in return.
Wow.
After a frantic flurry of action that lasted a minute and a half, Jordy finally lost the last of his patience as he realized that he could no longer feasibly win.
Commentator Showdown goes on. Like, I knew that was a tough lobby to do well in.
Uh-oh. He slammed his controller and walked away, didn't he? So it sounded like to me. Thank you to Derek for super chat. He says, shout out Wings, stay strong, pimp. And Grubby the Great did a super chat saying, well, I watched my own video. We already talked about that. It's a goal for this month. It's not the subject of this video. Okay.
Wings, did you spawn in?
He's gone.
I broke my controller.
You broke your controller?
Yeah, keep fucking laughing, you fucking faggot.
Oh, no. Come on. No.
Oh, don't fucking suck.
No.
Fucking faggot.
Wow.
Yeah, we've all been there, man.
Fuck you.
That's supposed to be his friend. Those are so intrusive, the stupid pop-ups.
Why the fuck you stream that shit?
Why'd you stream it? Oh
It
my
was your
god.
idea.
No, I didn't say stream it.
Wow.
Yeah, I thought it was your idea.
While this loss was unlikely to make a significant impact on Jordy's reputation overall, his actions soon afterwards would ensure that it would remain one of the most memorable parts of his career.
So see, like I said, I'm lucky, and here's why I'm lucky. I used to be cocky in Street Fighter, and I definitely had high-profile money matches, but that was a time when nothing was recorded, there was nowhere to upload the footage, no one would sit there and micro-analyze how I choked, because boy did I choke. Like I said, I had a whole era of my competitive days when I played Marvel vs. Capcom 2. I loved that game. But every time I had a chance to do something, I choked. I failed every time. I never won anything prominent with the game. I would always fuck up. And a lot of people made fun of me for it. I lost a lot of money in money matches, but it was never recorded and live broadcast to people all over the world. Damn.
The day after the duel, Syndicate made a post to Twitter. Though the structure of the tweet was a bit confusing, the message was clear. Quote, "See for yourselves. I held respect the loss for Wings yesterday, but after this, no." Attached was a screen capture of a conversation between the two of them. Apparently, Alki David, the billionaire who had hosted the Call of Duty competition the previous month, was offering $5,000 to the winner of a rematch between Jordy and Syndicate. Looking to repair his image, Jordy had approached Syndicate, offering to fix the match so he could guarantee a victory.
Oh,
Quote,
shit!
You get $3,000, I get $2,000, but I have to come out on top.
Oh,
Sound like a good deal
no.
or
Collusion! Collusion! This shit happened in Street Fighter back in the day, too, where the people who knew they were essentially going to win would have collusion to share the pot. I don't know how prominent collusion is today, but at one point it was very bad in Street Fighter. Like, if you always knew the top three were going to be the same three people, all of a sudden you'll start watching the finals and it's like, why are they playing low-tier characters? Why are they fucking around? No good.
No part of it. Syndicate flatly refused, offended by the offer. Jordy grew desperate, saying, "I need this kind of money. I don't make $2,000 a day. I got a family to feed, so money is a big deal to me. You said you wanted to bury the hatchet. What better way we both make money? And I beat you by like 1 kill in Game 5. It's a $1,000 to lose a game you're not expected to win. I figured I'd offer it." To which Syndicate replied, "No way, Wings. You just blew it big style," and ceased communication.
Wow.
Jordy soon created a video discussing his loss to Syndicate and uploaded it on August 26, 2011, titling it, "I'm Only Human," in which he discussed his conduct.
Now wait.
One of my pet peeves is I hate losing.
I hate losing with a passion. I hate losing even more when I'm the only person that has something to lose. And it's something I've been trying to get over all my life. I mean, even when I was a child, I could not stand losing. It feels like I've failed in every form and manner, period, when I lose. I felt like I wasn't good enough to the point where it's like, maybe I shouldn't be playing.
Despite his attempts to address this, his comment sections soon afterwards would be littered with references to the infamous duel, taunting him for his loss. This further fueled his discomfort, and it would manifest as videos talking about himself and his personal problems in vague terms, such as a video published less than a month after the duel titled, "My Weight and Life Problems."
A lot of people get the impression that I'm this asshole person to subscribers and everything else, and all they ever do is they single out the negative. That's kind of what anybody does. It's like a first human nature to kind of single out the negative and everything. Nobody sees the positives that you put out there. Nobody sees how many people that you've actually helped.
He's correct.
I mean, I can list. You go on to any other commentators' videos, you won't see even a shrimp of the amount of hate that I get, which I knew going into it with my play style.
And he's
that I
probably
would
correct
get tons
there
of
too.
hate. And since there's been so much stress with sub box breaking, the view count thing, the losing the 1v1, all the haters, all the loss of subs, I've actually gained 20 pounds because all I've been doing is worrying and eating. That to go along with the new family that I got, it gets really problematic. I mean, it's just all stress, and then there's other problems in life, like, you know, why is this like this? I try to be a nice person. Why do I constantly get hate? You know, like people are like, ignore the haters. No, it's hard to ignore the haters because your natural response to anything is to single out the negative. Oh man,
damn. How'd he die there?
Why couldn't that be like COD 4? You know what I'm saying? And if you ever actually wonder where that's from, that's from the Trailer Park Boys. You can check that out on Netflix if you live in the
I've never seen the Trailer Park Boys.
Alongside his regular YouTube content, he began occasionally live streaming his play sessions in late November of 2011. However, Jordy also began to show some of his negative views of himself.
First off, most of my fan base don't like me anyway. Most people watch me to say what I'm about to say.
Despite this growth, he was losing enthusiasm for his gaming career, something he made unabashedly clear in his videos in early 2012, such as in a video titled, "Why Hide the Truth?"
I do have for you.
Up until one point, he really liked what he was doing. But then basically when, instead of it being about him being, he basically fell out of love with what he was doing. But he pigeonholed himself into a situation where this is all he could really do. I would assume, this is me assuming, he got himself into a situation here, if he was supporting a family, that he had to keep making what he was making in order to even, keep stuff going. If he were to try to change careers or whatever, he loses everything. How are you going to support a family starting from the bottom at a part-time or full-time retail job or whatever? Keep in mind, his weight is also a factor. He's probably severely limited to what kind of stuff that he can do for an in-person job because of his weight. So all those things were factors. They're also bringing up some other stuff too. For example, sub count issue and stuff. And that did used to affect the channel. Like all of a sudden, if your channel lost a bunch of subs, people were like, oh, what happened? And then treat it negatively. And it would almost be like a slope where like you lost a chunk, now more leave because they think that something's wrong. That stuff would affect you on YouTube. And I remember things like that, sub counters going up and down and shit, fucking people over. That would be an issue. That 1v1, man. If that 1v1 went down differently, or if that 1v1 on Bog, if it was more like just an exhibition as opposed to serious competition, but because he built it up himself, to be such a, oh, this is me proving how good I am, and then failing, now it completely flipped everything on his head. Okay.
Today, some stale ass fucking gameplay. That's what I got for you. I got it on lockdown too. And you know why I have stale ass fucking gameplay? Because I hate playing the fucking game.
Wow.
Plain and simple. But you know why I play the fucking game? Because it's the only thing that gets views. That's quite honest. And a lot of people want to ask you, why don't you get a real job? Real jobs don't pay as well. Mm-hmm. They don't. I mean, perfectly honest. Like, if a real job was the answer, I would have gotten a real job a year ago.
In March, another significant upheaval occurred in his life.
For those of you who know, I've been dating a girl named Shalene for about a year now, and today I kind of decided for a huge life change. I actually asked her to move out of the house again. I kind of made some bad decisions in my life, and a lot of it was influenced, from her being there and trying to keep her happy. And it's got me in a really bad financial situation, and I needed time to basically get my life back together.
By this point, it appeared that his finances were beginning to struggle as well, stating in a video on March 11th of 2012 that he had, quote, sold most of my guns over the last year or so to keep afloat. This suggests one or a combination of three potential factors: that he was making less money than he had first shared, that his income had reduced significantly, and that he had spent so much money on Shalene that he had drained much of his finances. Later, he would share that by his estimations, he had spent approximately $80,000 on her and her children to care for them and buy them things, including a new truck in which they had eventually left. Perhaps recognizing the popularity of the content that focused more on his own life, this sort of discussion would come to dominate his videos more and more, to the point that they came to resemble vlogs more so than Call of Duty commentary.
If you're going to let the opinions of others dictate your life and allow you to basically not do something, like just because you're fat, it's going to allow you not to travel on a plane. Just because you don't think your face looks as pretty as somebody else, you're not going to go to a movie. That's in the same line and ballpark of thinking that you're in by not wanting to date a girl because she's classified as a slut.
One of the topics that he would discuss frequently was his weight, as well as his desire and efforts to reduce it, which included sharing video of himself working out and recording straightforward vlogs about it.
And this is my first trip to Dr. Norman since I got back on the diet. And I went and got the prescription pills again for it. And while I was there, I was weighed, and it bothered me how much I weighed at that point because I kind of realized where I was at. Keep in mind, March-ish of last year, 2011, I was around 368 pounds.
Wow.
So within 1 year, I had put on around 100 pounds.
This pressure would continue to build, and soon it would manifest in a way that would shock his viewership and further alienate him from his contemporaries and his friends.
So basically, it became all about his weight and his personal life rather than gaming anymore. And basically, that made him different. Like Madara's God just said, people enjoy watching a train wreck. And at this point, since they were realizing he wasn't going to be known as a competitive gamer anymore or a top-level player, that he needed to find something else to make people keep watching. But, man, when you're sharing really, really, really personal stuff with your audience, that is a very dangerous situation. I know from personal experience, from stuff, that's happened with me that comes out or ends up being too much said, and then it gets either spun one way or another way that's not truthful, or it's harmful in one way. You have to have a separation of work-life balance, and I know that now. I didn't used to know that. I used to vlog everything I did and put it on the internet. And that was a terrible idea. I know from experience now. The last many years, like probably 5 years now, I did my best to build a life outside of what I do here on a stream that you guys don't know about, and that's on purpose. Now it's separated. He's thinking the only way I can keep doing what I'm doing is to make my life my business. All right, let's continue.
In September of 2012, Jordy entered an argument on social media with another commentator going by El Presador. In a now deleted tweet, Jordy wrote, "I've got a load of guns, El Presador, and if I decide to kill myself, I'm taking you with me."
This is fascinating because not only is this like a history of Wings, this is a history of so much shit over YouTube years. Dr. Disrespect, Keemstar, and now we've got El Presador in the mix.
Soon, the Call of Duty commentary community was talking among themselves about Jordy's conduct, but there was at least one person that saw an opportunity. DJ Keemstar had been publishing tweets that he labeled as drama alert for some time, cataloging drama occurring online, and here he sought to both capitalize on the recent drama and diffuse it at the same time. Acting quickly, he gathered a number of these commentators for a group call that would be recorded and streamed live on September 23rd. But before El Presador or Jordy could join the call, another commentator who had inserted himself into the situation joined as well, going by White Boy 7th Street, who proceeded to lamb conduct. He expressed his belief that Jordy had made these comments on Twitter to increase his view count.
Right. He did it for attention. That's what a fucking 13-year-old emo chick does. I care about Wings. I like Wings, and I'm sure all the viewers do as well. I can relate to him. I have a personal relationship with him. You know, I can feel him. I can understand him. Mm-hmm. And that's why I got away with so much stuff. But faking it, crying wolf, I lost it. I lost it from him.
Soon after, Duranker had an opportunity to give perspective.
Thank you,
I respect what Wings does, don't get me wrong. You know, I'm not hating on him. I'm just saying all he ever does is complain.
As soon as Jordy joined the call, he demanded that he be able to speak with the other three who had become involved: White Boy 7th Street, Duranker, and El Presador. Immediately upon Duranker's rejoining, Jordy began insulting him based on his employment, then began proclaiming his superior income.
Go ahead, Wings.
I told you what it is. You're a production supervisor. You walk around with your hands in your pockets. You probably ain't turned a wrench in 8 years, and you want to sit there and talk about gall of working hard. So you have a fucking cake job. Your job is fucking cake. What you do is you hold your hands in your pocket. You wait till the fucking safety meeting in the morning so you can suck up to some fucking big wig's dick. Then you go home and you drink your fucking Miller Lite. What it sounds like you're doing.
No, actually, I'm on my phone. I'm actually at work because I have a job. Anyway.
Actually at work because you have a job. You know what? I did your fucking job for 5 years. And you know what? I make more money now than I did at that job in 1 day of the week than I did.
Wings, and that's what I'm saying. You make a lot of money, but all you do is
But the fact is, the more money you make, the more responsibility you take on. You're also failing to neglect. You're talking about people taking $120 out of their check to feed their family. Look here, son. I have 9 people I support. 9. Not 1, not 2, not 3 children. 9.
Paradoxically, he then began explaining his aversion to manual labor.
No. You're making it seem like I've never worked a real job before. The reason that I have worked a real job is the reason I don't want to work a real job again. It doesn't matter if it's labor or backbreaking work. You know, if I see a person digging a ditch, you know what I don't think? That's a hard worker. I think that's somebody that fucked up in his life.
I would say out of all the people on planet Earth, how many are lucky enough to be able to do what they actually want to do? How many people don't go to work just to make a paycheck, to pay the bills, to pay the rent, to support their family? How many people who flip the burgers because they fucked up? No, they flip the burgers because they need to make a fucking living, man. That is insanely disrespectful what he just said. I'm not trying to justify what he's saying. I think what's happening is that at every moment he's being attacked from every direction, and he feels like he needs to defend himself when really he doesn't. He should have, this is all white noise bullshit that's going on, and he shouldn't really worry about it. But this is just like, to me, he's lashing, he's depressed, he's upset about his life where he's ended up because he made bad decisions financially. And now he's not even looked at in a positive light online anymore. So it's like everything was taken from him, right? He can't brag about Call of Duty. He can't brag about being a popular guy, a top guy. So now he's like, what else? Well, I make money, so I could brag about that. But then it's like, yeah, but even though you make the money, where does it go? You don't really have money. It's the difference between making money and having money. I know from a fact, I make money and it all goes to bills and responsibilities and things, and it's right out the door. The moment I get paid by YouTube every month, it goes right to bills. Zoop, gone. Within 2-3 days, all my money's gone. Literally, what he's saying here is completely worthless. Oh, I have all this money. Who cares, right? What the hell does that have to do with anything? Money does not equate to status or happiness. And I think that's what he's focused on at this point in his life because he didn't have much else.
Manual labor.
There you go.
No. You're making it seem like I've never worked a real job before. The reason that I have worked a real job is the reason I don't want to work a real job again. It doesn't matter if it's labor or backbreaking work. You know, if I see a person digging a ditch, you know what I don't think? That's a hard worker. I think that's somebody that fucked up in his life.
That's terrible.
Right.
That's so dumb.
Soon, Woody offered insight into Jordy's mentality and even claimed that Jordy was lying.
Wings, can I ask you a question?
Yes.
All right, so when I was watching the Twitter feed unfold, like this is how it played in my own head. I saw, you upset, and I know you, right? You're a guy who thinks a little bit short term. When cash comes in the bank, you feel wealthy. When the bills roll in, you feel broke. When the views are high, you feel, if you have a good day view-wise, you feel like things are awesome. If you have a single bad day view-wise, you worry that the world is crashing. So I watched you on YouTube and I thought, you know what? He's not joking or putting on a suicide hoax. He's just a guy who has extreme feelings and expresses, like, there's no sort of long-term, like moderation filter on there. Now, if I get 700,000 views today and 30,000 views tomorrow, I feel like I got 730,000 views over 2 days. You feel like, oh my gosh, my channel crashed today. The world is ending. And so when I watched your Twitter thing and saw White Boy respond to it, I felt like White Boy was off target because he's like, oh my gosh, this guy faked a hoax. I saw it. I felt like you claimed it was a hoax as a way to change the topic and end the beef.
Wings, it's been kind of...
Now, again, my take here is I don't think Wings was making a hoax. I think he was in a really, really bad spot. He didn't want people fucking with him, and he goes to the extreme. And he's not thinking, he can't control his emotions. He's not thinking long term. He just says whatever. So he just fucking unfiltered. Bloop, say it out there.
It's kind of been you versus the world tonight.
No, it's always me versus the world, dude. It's been like that for the last 3 years of my career.
The world then.
I'm pretty much, Scarface of the YouTube community. I'm the bad guy. I'm the camper. I'm everything that personifies everything bad.
Say that way. You were the Scarface of the YouTube.
Duh!
After a bit more arguing, Jordy began to threaten and insult White Boy, while Woody unsuccessfully attempted to defuse the situation.
You're real close to me just telling you what you actually make.
And you're fucking that's not anybody's business
Not
what
again.
people make, though, Wings.
I know
Doxing
what he makes.
again?
His contract can't be much different from mine.
But Wings, he's not talking about money though.
He is. He's calling me a view whore when he said himself I'd get like 1,000 views.
But
You're a fucking dumbass, dude. I don't do that shit for views. If I did that shit for views, I would do it on my fucking YouTube channel. Why don't you take your one-eyed ass and learn fucking something? Quit smoking pot. Quit being a fucking high school dropout.
So I think instead of going after the messenger,
Like, what a great.
I'm a fucking person too, and you're sitting there trying to destroy my livelihood by some fucking bullshit, trying to say I did some view whore and shit.
Suicide. Do you not understand the gravity of the situation?
Oh my God, not
you
again.
faked the suicide for views. Your fucking raw instinct.
After Jordy returned, the live stream took on a drastically different tone, discussing Jordy and his negative mental health.
It's not a fucking fake suicide. That's what you don't fucking understand. I'm a suicidal fucking person. I don't like my fucking life.
Wings, why do you... okay, listen, Wings. Sometimes we, as human beings, we just have to look down when things are tough and look at what we have. I know I'm sounding like a Hallmark card
What do I fucking have, Keemstar? I have a fucking night full of drama. I have fucking El Presto trying to get big off me by threatening to put the FBI on me. I have one of the biggest channels in the gaming on YouTube trying to shut me down while I'm having one of the worst months of my fucking life. What do I have?
Wings, think about what you just said. You said that you have El Presador trying to get big off of you. Now, do you really believe that? Do you really believe that?
El Presador's a fucking leech. That's
No, but what I'm saying is, if El Presador is really just trying to get big off you, that is an awesome thing. That's a compliment,
It's not an awesome thing. It hits you all at once, dude. Have you ever... Well, you probably have.
You gotta look at it glass half full, glass half empty. You have so much, and people in this community, look up to you. All right? They do. They do. People in the community actually look up to Wings. Wings has been around for forever. And as much as people battle with you, people do respect you. And admire you. Look at how many people tune into PKA. No offense to Woody, but if you were out of it, it'd be probably like half the people.
But I do have one thing I want to say here. And it's about this individual who's on the screen right now. All right? And I do have to say this. And I know watching this video and you're watching this segment and you're like, oh, this segment makes Keemstar look like a good person. Because he's actually the voice of reason. He's coming in here and he's saying, listen, your life isn't that bad. You do have good things in it. You should focus on those and not focus on the bad. All the time when people say to me, Phil, how is it that you get through all the hate that you receive? How do you focus on the positive? Because I do. I have this work-life balance. I've separated my life from what I do for a job. I love my job and I love my personal life. I don't like the drama bullshit that other people try to drag me into. But if you notice, I don't involve myself in that. I purposely try to separate all of that. Okay, I don't want to be involved in that shit. And it sucks that there's drama that gets involved, but I focus on the great positives that I have in my life. And that's what keeps me going. When someone comes on my stream and says, hey, guess what? I love what you do. You gave me a great positive smile today. You made me feel good at a time when my life was shit. And what you do has meaning. Please keep it up. That motivates me to keep doing it. Even on a day when, Maybe it was a slow day, bad support. People I don't like the game I was playing. A bunch of drama shit came out about me that I don't control, I hate. It's a bad day. It still motivates me to keep going because I know that I'm helping people out there in some capacity. Even if that's not the intended end goal of what I'm doing, it's nice to know that what I'm doing is helping people out there, okay? That motivates me to keep going. In this situation, I think Keemstar is correct. Wings was at a bottom of his life because everything he saw was black. And I've been there too. Everything's black, dark, dingy, depressing. Everything, even when something good is happening, you just see it as a negative. I've been there. I've had depression. And I know what it's like when you wake up and you just hate yourself, you hate your life, you hate everything about it, and you don't see a light at the end of that tunnel. It's awful. It's really, I can understand what it's like to be in a situation like that and to feel feelings of self-harm, ending it all. I've been there, actually. And Keemstar here doing the right thing. But I do have to call this out. I would actually be morally, and I know this might shoot me in the foot, but I would be morally bad if I didn't say this. Keemstar creates situations like this all the time. He is the one hosting this call. He is the one who put Wings on a call with El Presidor, on a Wings with this White Boy 7th Street. This drama is existing because of Keem doing it. Outside of this, maybe Wings could have ignored it. Maybe Wings wouldn't have been involved in it, and he would have just moved on with his own shit. Keemstar is the person who creates the venue for this to happen and blow up. And why does he do it? Well, maybe in some cases he feels like he's doing the right thing and he wants to help people involved. But the bottom line is he makes a paycheck on it. He's getting paid for this call right here, right? Like, I'm sure he didn't do this out of personal love for everyone involved. This was something that he did to make it's business to him. Everyone else's life and drama is his profit. And that is fucked up beyond belief. This is a guy, this was 2012. It's 2022. This is his life still 10 years later. He literally says shit about me that I'm still on level 1. And I'm, you know, oh, you didn't get anywhere in life. You don't have any money. Yeah, but I'm not you. So I've already won. I don't have to be Mr. Drama. I don't have to make people have misery to have profit from it. I can actually have fun games. Look at me. I look like an asshole on my stream today, wearing the most ridiculous outfit I've ever. I look like a jackass. But I can sleep at night because I have conscience and morals. And if I was you, I would hate myself. Really, I would hate my fucking self. I wouldn't be able to live with myself. Because 10 years ago, you were the guy causing misery. In 2022, you're the guy that causes misery. You are Mr. Misery. Your business is the misery of others. And if everything was good in the world, you'd be out of business. Just think about that for a second. And that's what gets me. I watch this like, damn, this guy keeps coming up in this documentary about someone else. Why? Because he was directly part of the misery of Wings' life so many times along the way. That's so fucked up, man. I can't believe anyone, I seriously can't believe anyone with a conscience watches or supports this kind of shit. This is, to me, the most, like, harmful shit that exists. This drives me nuts that this exists. And it's sad that people don't see the truth behind it. Like, you might look at this clip and say, Keemstar's a good guy. In this moment, maybe he was a good guy. But then he looked at his bank account after he made the video. And he smiled. And he said, ka-ching, ka-ching. And that's why he was the good guy for this video. You know what I'm saying? So, it's fucked up that this guy's entire living is making money off of misery. I hate that. That is something I will always disagree with. That people can make a whole business off of misery. That's like, you can always take a better high road. And he never did. He was always, like people say, he's the TMZ. That just kills me. He's still popular. He still makes a living doing it. He did 10 years ago. He's still there. And no, how? How do people not understand? This whole video, this whole situation we're watching in the documentary could have been avoided if this call never happened. I don't know. Anyway, let's get back to it.
There. What do you think is the biggest thing, Wings, that's missing out of your life right now? What is the root thing that's making you this depressed, I guess? I mean, is there something really missing? Because people look at you from the outside and say, that guy's got a lot, you know?
I don't know. I honestly can't answer that question.
Are you missing the girlfriend? I mean, I know money became a situation, but are you missing that companionship?
No, dude. I've had other girlfriends since Lean. I mean, I can't honestly answer that. I mean, I just don't feel fulfilled. I feel like I'm going nowhere.
About an hour into the live stream, however, the tone shifted dramatically again as El Presidor joined by calling Keemstar on the telephone. Though it was often difficult to understand him, it was clear that El Presador was still intent on calling the FBI.
Yeah, but you're too lazy, and I also know that.
In the midst of this, however, Jordy made a remarkably prophetic statement.
I think El Presador is one of the main instigators of my frustration. Like, generally, when I'm feeling bad, he's the person there to try to kick you when you're down.
Why don't you get that he's just a troll, and he says he's trolling you while he's doing it, and you still bite into it? You're feeding him, Wings. You're feeding the troll.
I understand that.
Then why don't you just stop?
Because it's not built into me to stop. It's not.
In the end, however, the drama was resolved.
So, Wings, El Presador, this is a breakthrough moment. El Presador said, let's sweep it under the rug. What do you think, Wings?
That seems like a good idea to me. It seems like a lot of headaches avoided.
Bam.
There you go. Bad Kid Show.
Bam. And give me a pre-tackle video, man.
Even so, this moment deteriorated the relationships that he had with other content creators even further, as he was already known as a volatile personality.
I mean, when you're saying stuff like that on the internet, who's gonna want to associate with you? That's the blacklist moment right there, right? That's like, dude, let him do his own thing. I wish him well, but I don't want to touch him with a 10-foot pole because that's just too much. You know, I can't. Well, at any moment, what if he blows up and does something else happens? I don't want to be associated with that. And I could totally understand that. To summarize again, at the end of the day, Wings and El Presador say, okay, we were just kind of fucking around on either side, but it's not serious, we'll squash it. They couldn't have done that behind the scenes. They couldn't have done that on Twitter. They had to go on a Keemstar show to do it and pay him, basically. Anyway.
The rest of the stream was dedicated to discussing Jordy's mental state, where he reiterated his desire to stop working as an internet personality.
Okay, I hear like a sound of
10 years ago.
Depression. Can we say that?
I'm not really depressed, though. I mean, as soon as I leave this room, I'm happy. As soon as I forget all of this, I'm happy. That's why I said beforehand when I was a little more upset that I know what I need to do. What I need to do is quit YouTube and move on with my life. But at the same time, this is the high point so far in my life. I mean, I'm not going to say it's going to be the only high point in my life. It's hard to walk away from having access to 50,000 people. It's hard to walk away from, you know, basically being able to get advice at any time of the day, any day of the week. It's hard to walk away from, you know, being somebody of importance to going back into a world where you're nobody.
Even after alienating so many other creators, his relationship with his friends on the Painkiller Already podcast remained consistent.
Oh, no.
But this
Never mind.
would not last.
Oh, okay. This is what I was wondering. What happened with the podcast eventually?
What a lot of people don't know is I kind of grew up without a father figure. I mean, for the most part, there were like guy figures.
Dude, he told
in my
everything,
life, throughout
man.
my life.
He
My mother
just
was
bears
an
everything
attractive
on his
woman during her
streams.
20s and 30s and even 40s.
Over the next year, Jordy quietly continued to produce videos. The longer he continued, however, the fewer views he was receiving on his channel, but this didn't stop him from sharing a woman he had begun dating sometime in August of 2012, named Brandy, whom he had met on a dating website, just as he had Shalene. Compared to Shalene, however, she would feature much less prominently in his content. He also became much more susceptible to radical mood swings. In early 2013, Machinima released him from his contract, and he created a video discussing this, titled...
Machinima over the years renegotiated my contract several times for way less money over and over and over as they plummeted into failure as a company. Just so everyone knows a little bit of background about Machinima, they never knew what they wanted to do. At one point, they were a video producing company making original content on YouTube, and another time they became a partnership network, and another time they started producing television series. It makes no sense. Why the hell were they doing that? They basically were like a black hole for money. Okay, like they would have all these investors coming in, tossing money Machinima's way, but I can't imagine any of them ever made their money back. Like, they didn't know what the hell they were doing with as a company. One year, Machinima would be like, oh, we're sending you to E3, and we're going to give you free a room and board there. We're going to fly you out there. Please cover this event and do this and that. And the next year, it's like, we're doing absolutely nothing. You can't even get a free game, no promotion, nothing. Don't even contact us. We have no one to talk to. It was the weirdest thing working with them for as long as I did. I was one of the holdouts who worked with them longer than most people until they basically went out of business. And I was the year before they went out of business, I got into an argument with them, and I was released from my contract. And I was happy about it because I hated those fuckers at that point. But what's weird to me is it says that this was 2013. So I'm trying to think in the timeline of things. There was several times where Machinima was losing money and had to renegotiate everyone's contracts for way less money. They did that to me twice. So let's see what happened here with Wings. This might have been one of those times.
Rock bottom.
I made a few decisions in my life that really crippled me when they dropped me. Because I had like a 3-year contract with Machinima. I signed one. And under the premise of me signing a 3-year contract, I bought things and made obligations that I normally otherwise would not have.
And the problem with the contracts with Machinima is that they're terrible. The contracts with Machinima they were open-ended, completely in their favor. It was like, so we're going to take a cut of your revenue off of whatever you make on ad revenue for your videos. You get nothing. We guarantee you nothing at all. We guarantee you no service, nothing. Okay? It was stupid. Yet you had to sign it for a certain amount of time. You were locked into this contract. To get out of it, generally, if you really wanted to get out of the contract, they would let you, but you would have to argue with them about it. Like, a lot of the times they were like, oh, we don't want to let you out of your contract. You signed a 3-year deal. We want your money. And then, on top of that, it just gets me because, like, there's no guarantee. Like, at any moment, their contract said, we can we can terminate it. You're agreeing to pay me a set amount of money per views on a video because you're making ad revenue. So, great. You're making money. I'm making money. Everyone's making money. But at any moment, you could just cut me for no reason. Like, that's what their contract literally said. At any moment, you could sever the contract. So, it was completely one-sided, the agreement. Now, at this time, it was more beneficial to have a partner network than not, because if you didn't have one, you couldn't really make big money on your videos. You could put ads on your videos, but people in partnership companies were getting prominence with the ads. They were getting the longer video ads, the ones that paid way more money. If you weren't with a network, you would get like shitty ads and you barely make anything. So everyone who was anyone wanted to be in a network to make more money. It made sense. Even with the cut that they would take, you'd still make more money. But it was such a one-sided endeavor that in the end, it ended up, a lot of these partnership networks ended up being exposed for being really fucked up with the way that they were treating their talent. Yeah, the Machinima contract, I can tell you right now, 100% one-sided in their favor. They could terminate it whenever they want, but if you wanted to get out of it, you had to jump through hoops and argue with them about getting out of it. They were making money for literally nothing. They didn't promote you. They didn't do anything with your content. They just made flat ad revenue on your stuff, took all your ad revenue, and then they would pay you a set amount for the amount of views you were getting on your videos. The problem was ad revenue was going down, so they would renegotiate for lower. You'd always get paid less and less and less. That's why I ended up cutting entire channels out of the deal. Like at one point, I had multiple YouTube channels under the deal with Machinima. After a while, I cut them out, and I started doing my own shit with those channels. Okay, here we go.
So basically, my channel's not doing very well. I've been going into the red for February, March, April, May, June, 5 months now. And when I got that week off, it kind of like kick-started a lazy bug in me. And when you start getting lazy, you start laying down, you start sleeping more, you start getting depressed, you start realizing how fat you are. And end up being fat depresses you, and that makes you want to eat. When you eat, you feel depressed.
All this makes sense to me. But I've been in a situation where, like, everything is just an endless circle of misery, and it just makes you feel worse and worse and worse. You get lower. If you don't have something to pull you out, it's like impossible to get out of it. It's just endless. I hate everything in my life, and you're sad always. It's really bad.
It's just the constant cycle of being a failure. That on top of just the negative comments. People are always like, why do you point and just zero in those negative comments? And like, I just can't help it. I can't.
Yep.
I used to have the skin of an elephant. Back in Modern Warfare 2, maybe Black Ops 1, I could care fuck less what you said about me.
Soon after, however, he joined another company, Full Screen Arcade, but he was making significantly less money from this contract. Around this same time, perhaps attempting to increase viewer retention and income, he began speaking more to YouTube drama, often eschewing the gameplay component of Call of Duty commentary so he could simply talk to the camera in a more normal vlog format. Throughout 2013, his channel would continue in much the same way that it had, trending towards sharing information about his life and speaking his mind on any number of topics, from YouTube drama to national news headlines to his thoughts on the existence of aliens. He would even have a friend record doctors draining of oil after he became infected with MRSA, a sort of drug-resistant staph infection, and upload it to his channel, including a close-up of the bacteria and
look at that
pus
interesting
oozing from
corner
his
of my
skin.
room.
Similarly,
I've never
on
seen it
Painkiller
before.
Already
Is it?
149,
Okay.
he discussed a rather graphic and personal scene.
So one of the worst feelings I've ever had in my life. I mean, the only other feeling that I could even contemplate with that would be the time I was constipated and the turd went sideways on me.
What the fuck is this?
Like,
That doesn't even make.
Do you guys see my point? This is where it all went wrong. He became the guy who literally talks about every embarrassing personal thing. You can't do that. And again, I'm guilty of this too, so I'm not trying to throw rocks inside of a glass house here. Because I used to do this. I would vlog everything I did. I would talk about everything personal in my life. And it completely and utterly backfired on me. As a 14-year veteran of content creation, allow me to bestow upon many of you some advice. Don't share all your personal shit. This is exactly when it starts. The bad shit. You can't be sharing all your personal stuff with your audience. There's got to be a separation. And if the moment that it seeps over like that, that's the absolute positive beginning of the end. Do yourself a big favor and don't share everything. I have things that I do not share with you guys. There's many things in my life I don't share with you. I could. It would actually explain certain things, observations that people have made in my content. I can't. That's personal shit. It's not to be known by the world. If I had a turd go sideways, you would be the last people to know. I'm not going to tell you about sideways turds in my ass. I mean, I'll joke about it on a stream or something. I'm not going to talk about medical issues. I'm not going to, you know what I mean? That's something that's like the slippery slope. And you're now, once you go down that slope, you can't stop yourself from slipping. That's all anyone's going to talk about or care about. Thank God that even though, yes, there's a lot of people who just talk about drama when they talk about me, there's still people who like me for the content that I put out and enough to support me, right? And I have a business, successful business, thank God. Because if I was just the guy, all you come over here is to hear about personal shit constantly, that's like the end of it, man. Okay.
let me tell the story.
No, don't.
I had a really bad bout of constipation.
Oh,
and
no.
This was when I was on my diet in early 2011. I started doing Slim Fast to replace my lunches. One thing I didn't learn about Slim Fast is it dehydrates you really, really badly. Like, you have to drink a lot of water when you're on Slim Fast, when you're replacing it as meals, and I didn't do that. So I got dehydrated really bad. I'm talking about 3 or 4 turds deep. Like, it just hurt to walk. So I feared pooping for about a week. So what I did is I ended up going to get a saline enema. And I had my grandma give me a saline enema. And it softened it up enough to pass, but it only got a little bit. So, like, it softened like the first 3/4 of a turd. I get on the toilet, and a saline enema, like, stimulates the muscles to actually make it come out. So I do it, it goes, and then that little piece, probably about this big, hits it, and turns like that, and it spreads my butthole wide open. I fall off the toilet, and I hit my head onto the wall, and I call my grandma. I'm like, you might have to take me to the hospital. But what we ended up doing is she ended up sticking her finger up my button and mashing the turd up.
Now, I know how to ask a question, guys.
But midway through that year, this pattern would see a remarkable short-term change. While recording the Painkiller Already podcast, FPS Kyle proposed a way to help Jordy finally lose weight.
One episode, I threw this at Wings because, you know, he was bemoaning his
Station in life.
Sure, and I said, look, man, come to my house. We'll do a fucking month-long boot camp. We'll get the fans behind it. We'll do a Kickstarter to get you like fitness gear, supplies. You know, we'll film the entire thing. We'll make posters. We'll make coffee mugs. We'll get like a.
This is bad. This is incredibly bad. If this guy doesn't know what he's doing and he gets involved in someone's personal life like this, you could do irrevocable or irreparable damage. Like, you could fuck him. You could kill him. He just wanted to help out. And he saw. Now, again, this is speculation. It sounds to me like he's using Wings. Oh, here's a guy who's down on his luck. He needs help. So I'll help him or try to help him, but I'm going to use him for content, just like Keemstar. I'm going to use this guy's life drama for content. We're going to document everything. We're going to, like you said, we're going to do the Kickstarter. Great, to get him fitness stuff, but of course you're going to record it, you're going to broadcast it, you're going to document it. Again, this does not seem good to me at all, that you would involve yourself in his life, and I mean, this is really bad choice if Jordy said yes. I don't know if he did.
Big viewership. Not only will this revive your body, it'll revive your YouTube channel. This will be amazing. Come to my house. I'll take a month out of my schedule. I will devote it to you. We'll do this thing together. It'll be fun. I sort of half-heartedly meant it. I didn't really expect him to ever say yes because of all the things that we told you so far. You know, he doesn't get out of his bubble too much. And then the man said yes.
What's more, these videos would be hosted on Jordy's channel, where he could collect the advertising revenue.
Oh,
With the plan in place, Kyle prepared for Jordy to move in.
All right, you know what? If that's the case and he didn't benefit from it, then I take it all back. And again, this is just me speaking from what I'm learning in the documentary. It sounds like he actually was trying to help him. He was going to give him all the revenue and everything. But still, if he is not an expert on these things, he's not a dietitian, he's not a doctor, he's not a personal trainer, why is he doing this? If anything, let's do a Kickstarter. Let's raise the money to hire a professional to come into the equation and be part of this endeavor. Not let's just fucking wing it. I know his name is Wings, but you don't just wing something like this in your life. You got to be serious about it. This is this guy's life, right?
And so that night I was taking a shower in my shower after the show, and I was washing my hair, and I bumped my elbow on the shower wall, and I was like, God, the shower is a little narrow. And then it occurred to me, Wings of Redemption could not fit into my shower. And if he was going to live with me, we would have to put in a new shower. So construction began the next day.
Wow.
On a $5,000 shower. we tore out.
Jordy arrived at Kyle's house on October 13th, 2013. In the video updating people on his arrival, he was visibly nervous, bouncing his leg and fidgeting as he spoke. This wasn't surprising. He was a self-admitted homebody, preferring to stay in his mother's mobile home with his grandmother.
It's a really big change in life, and it's a change that kind of makes you feel better about yourself.
On October 31st, the first video was uploaded, with the series titled FPS Boot Camp in all capital letters. The beginning showed Jordy squirming across the floor and pulling himself with a rope.
He is allowed to use his legs. As long as he's moving weight, it's a good thing. Pull.
Great.
Pull.
What became
Now, totally, this wasn't embarrassing and people didn't laugh at him and make fun of him and deride him even further. There's no way. This pushed him even further down where he, from where he was, right? This totally, it just raised him up, and everyone was so happy for Wings that he was doing this for himself, I'm sure.
Immediately clear, however, was that FPS Kyle had no experience as a personal trainer, and he was using his common knowledge to construct routines for Jordy. At the end of the first day, Jordy filmed himself in the new bathtub that Kyle had installed for him, and somberly reminisced
There's a really
about when
interesting
he was
corner in my office
lighter.
up there I never noticed before. Look how exciting it looks, entertaining. Look at all the stuff going on up there. Wow.
I wasn't as strong as I remember myself
This is cool.
But I guess that's the way most things happen.
How entertaining.
You always feel like you're...
There might be a supernova going on over there.
At a certain point. Like, I found myself remembering... thinking back to when I used to be like 330 pounds, and back then I thought I was really, really heavy, and like now I'd kill to be 330. Like, oh, Lord, that's 110 pounds.
Whoa, he's over 400 pounds.
That's exactly what it is at this point. It's 110 pounds, and there's really nothing you can.
I'm not looking. I refuse.
Really, nothing that you can do about it, but. It's How
long does this go on for?
I feel really good that Kyle's helping me out here. I mean, he's being a really good friend doing this, and like,
Despite his struggle, the new video performed well, receiving 50,000 views within the first 12 hours. The
heaviest I've ever been was between 240 and 250 pounds, personally. To give you some perspective on that, at that time in my life, my knees hurt all the time. It was a point I would get out of my car to go to work, my office job when I had it. There was a day I put my feet down on the ground. I stood up and I completely destroyed my left knee. Like, just getting up out of the car, I destroyed my left knee because of my weight. Since I lost the good 30, 40 pounds that I used to have on me, and I'm not saying I'm some skinny dude, I'm not. I'm definitely still considered overweight. But like I said, I'm around 210 pounds now. Basically, I feel so much better. I have way more energy. I don't have any pain in my legs anymore. All right. Now, I used to have really bad back. I had a big, almost ruptured, severely herniated disc in my lower back. I guarantee you that's because of the weight I had. Definitely, if not, it was exacerbated by it. That lifestyle for me was terrible. Like I hated being that big, and it was like debilitating to the point where like I felt unhealthy. I felt sick because I was that heavy. He was 200 more pounds than that. That's unfathomable. I couldn't. How tall am I? I'm 5'11". I could not speak to that. I don't know if I'd be able to survive that. I hated my life when I was 240, 250. Being 400 pounds that's nuts. Like, how can you function? How did he function at that weight? I don't know. Holy shit. Okay.
He discussed more of his hardship with the routine. Apparently, he had also broken the bed that Kyle had let him use.
Oh, Jesus. I forgot my headset. The bed I ended up breaking on the first night. They had like a futon bed here, and I felt real bad about that. So,
Even so, his attitude was positive, buoyed by the high view count of the first episode of FPS Bootcamp. In order to help fund Jordy's stay with Kyle, a crowdfunding campaign was created on either November 1st or 2nd, asking for $2,500. According to the comments, this goal was doubled within 24 hours, and by the time the campaign ended, it had raised over $8,000. These videos continued, and ironically, the large amount of support Jordy was receiving was creating significant pressure on him to perform.
Right. That's the problem with a journey like this. Is it important? Yes. Is it good for you? Yes. Should it be on the internet? No. It's got to be your own thing. It can't be my personal journey, but it has to be documented on the internet, and there's pressure. That's what I mean when he carried this over to be, oh, now it's an event for the channel. Now imagine the pressure he has to actually have results, and it's just like he doesn't have enough going on. His mind already is fucked with all the shit going on in his life, and now he's going to put this extra pressure on himself. That was not good. It should have been a private thing. If anything, you can film videos or whatever, but every once in a while, sporadically put one up showing the progress. Not every day we're promising we're putting out this content, and it's like you have to have a journey that it's for you. It had to be for him to do this for himself, not to do it for his channel, to do it for the people watching, to do it for profit. It has to be to get himself healthy. That's why he's doing it. Because the truth of the matter is this: even if he's successful, I don't know if he is or not. I'm gonna find out with you guys. It's not going to last, because the moment that's gone, right back to the old shit. That's how these things happen. That's why do you think that there's people who they lose the weight, they gain the weight back. They lose the weight, they gain the weight back. Let's see what happens, because I don't know.
It's beyond belief how much support I've been getting through these videos. And like it motivates me. Like when I'm on there, in this video right here, you're seeing me make almost 3 minutes on the elliptical. The entire time I was on the elliptical, I thought about all the people sitting there rooting for me and how I can't fail. And like, failing at this point would be letting everybody down, including myself. And I don't want to fail. And like, I think this year might be the year where I can keep that promise to myself, where I don't want to be overweight on my birthday. I failed last year, but this year might be it.
And the thing is,
being overweight might be a stage in my life.
For as many scumbags as they're out there that were probably consistently just ripping this guy a new asshole because he was putting this journey out on the internet, I bet it was kind of a positive vibe, maybe even inspirational in some ways, that some people liked this. They're like, wow, here's a guy, he went to the bottom, but now he's going to push himself back up. He's really trying to get his life back together. And I bet there were a lot of people rooting for him. I don't know what happened. I bet there were a lot of people rooting for him to do better. Even people who probably didn't like him probably saw this and said, holy shit, this is actually like a life-changing moment, and this would be inspirational if it's a success story, right?
And not my entire life.
The FPS Bootcamp videos continued, with significant progress being made. Jordy's mood improved more and more as he continued, bolstered by his significant weight loss.
What the fuck is that? What the fuck is that? Why is he dressed like that? I just don't understand this. See, as serious as I'm trying to take this, again, I have to criticize and be like, how serious was it when you got this? Like, what is that? The point I'm making is I'm dicking around on a stream. This is not something serious. This was supposed to be serious, right? Like, this is supposed to be, life-changing experience, really going to turn my life around. Why is there a clown? It's almost like, to me, they were trying to play both sides. Yes, they want Wings to get better. Yes, they want this to work and have his life be better. At the same time, we're totally riding with the whole make fun of Wings. There's a clown throwing something at him. Okay.
I'm shedding something like 2.5 to 4
Brings
pounds a
back a
day.
pleasant memory
depending
from
on
the circus.
What I do that
Oh,
day,
wait,
what
what?
I eat, and like, it's almost inhuman the way my body is burning fat right now.
No, it's not.
What wasn't shown in these videos were Jordy's significant interpersonal and health problems, the latter likely brought on in part by Kyle's lack of knowledge as a nutritionist.
Oh, come on, that's what I
Living
said.
with him outside of the workout was one of the most horrible ordeals of my life. That month was one of the worst months of my life.
What did you
because
expect?
Wings lives within his own bubble. He doesn't socialize, and so he doesn't curtail himself to social norms.
Now, hold on a second. If you're someone's friend, do you go on your podcast years later when I guess you're not friends anymore and like talk about this like this? Like, it seems to me like this is a spill the beans style podcast where he's like, oh, I'm going to tell you the behind the scenes of that. And let me tell you all this shit. Like, I don't like that. I really don't like that at all. I wish that it would have been kept private. Like, okay, so he's probably about to tell some embarrassing stories about the situation. Okay, great. You don't have to share that with the world. That wasn't part of the arrangement, right? And especially now if you're not his friend anymore and he's not on your podcast anymore, now you're going to talk about him like this after the fact. Like, now he's not going to benefit from it. I don't know if I like this at all, man. This is actually upsetting me at this point.
Right away, myself, my roommate Kitty, and my girlfriend were in my kitchen, and the bathroom is visible from the kitchen. And we hear this noise of water flowing into more water.
You know
and we
what it
all
is.
look up
It's pissing.
ponderously, and the bathroom door is agape, and Wings is pissing. And we and we can see most of him. I couldn't see the penis, nor could he.
That's not funny. That's fucked up what you're saying. You shouldn't be talking about it on a podcast years later. You shouldn't be making fun of his dick. Like, what is this? I'm not laughing at all. I'm pissed right now.
But he was pissing, and we all just, and we were all just in shock. And finally, my roommate Kitty yelled, "Close the goddamn door! You're pissing with the door open!" She's British, if you can't tell. And we all just bust out laughing. Like, can you believe that? He's like, "What? What's the big deal? You know, just taking a piss. It's not like I was shitting."
Strong
You know,
point.
shitting.
Again, this is, I can only judge this from what I see in it. You know what I'm saying? I don't know the whole situation. I'm not hearing two sides. I'm just seeing what I'm seeing. And from this is not painting Kyle in a very good light in my eyes. It's making him look like an asshole.
When I put him on the FPS Kyle diet, which is a lot of salads and grilled chicken, basically, he didn't shit for a week. He didn't shit for so long. I called the only person who I truly know is a bit of a fitness expert, Joe Lozon, who's a UFC fighter, a man who is literally a fitness expert. He's a professional fighter, professional athlete.
You mean the guy who should have been doing this to begin with? The guy who you should have paid to come and do this rather than you, right? Okay, got it.
Big name in the UFC. I'm like, he hasn't shat in 4 days, dude. He's like, what? He hasn't shat in 4 days. What do we do? He's like, well, if 3 or 4 more days go by, you know, it's gonna be a problem. It's already a problem. I think, I'm just picturing the meals that he's taken in. That's still inside him somewhere. Like he's
more stuffing down the musket barrel.
Yeah.
It's like he's overloaded. This, you know, I've seen what happens when you put the wrong ammunition into a gun. It explodes. Like what? Are we gonna blow this man's asshole out? That was occurring to me as I pondered over his constipation, and so we're getting him these chia seed drinks from the grocery store.
Oh, come on! No! Arrest this man! What are you doing? You didn't talk to a doctor. You didn't talk to a professional. You gave him fucking chia seeds?
And passing, you know, making you regular, making you poop. We're filling his diet with fiber. I believe there was like shredded wheat and chia seed drinks and all of this stuff. And finally, like 7 or 8 days in, I mean, I had to replace the toilet. Not because anything was wrong with it, but just out of principle after he left.
You knew what happened, didn't you?
I knew what had happened there. It was like...
2 weeks into the program, Jordy was beginning to feel discouraged after his weight had plateaued, and he approached Kyle wanting to return home.
This happens with everyone trying to lose weight.
Kyle was only barely able to convince him to stay for the last 2 weeks.
Damn.
When Jordy arrived back at his mother's mobile home, he seemed ecstatic about the amount of weight he had lost. This inspired him to make a video of himself dropping weights roughly equivalent to the lost weight in order to show what he called the, quote, destructive power that I have taken off my body.
Why did he
Shortly
destroy a
afterwards,
grill?
he hired a personal trainer named Drew using the extra money left over from the crowdfunding campaign.
Good.
And he seemed relatively good-natured about it, laughing alongside Drew and poking fun at himself.
Because you put up some decent weight, considering we just got started, you haven't done this in a while. But the endurance there.
He doesn't want to embarrass me.
I
I did 12 reps of 100, and then I went straight to 15 pounds, and I struggled.
However, he also mentioned that he had started struggling with his diet and had gone back to eating high-calorie foods.
And a lot of it's my appetite slowly been coming back. When I was at Kyle's house, I was isolated. I had people pretty much feeding me. I was, but now since I took over the diet, I've been slipping more and more and more.
Yeah.
How are we going to fix this, Drew?
While it's uncertain when these bad habits resumed, this may have been in part because his girlfriend, Brandy, had broken up with him.
In cases like this, it's as much about the person making the commitment and doing the work as everyone around them as well. Because if you're someone who's trying to change your life for the better, but everyone around you still has a shitty lifestyle, you're being enabled. Like, you watch these shows on TV, the 1,000-pound person or whatever, and it's like, okay, so how are they 1,000 pounds? Well, because they wake up and they eat McDonald's, and then they eat Burger King, and then they have a pizza, and then for dinner, someone makes enchiladas, and then they do this, and that's like, wait a minute. Do we do that? Of course we don't. Like, it's enabling. And you can't enable that lifestyle. You have to make it so that it's not even possible. When you don't have the temptation around you, it's not possible to have that temptation, then the chances are dramatically decreased that you're going to relapse on a bad diet or something like that. And what I have found this is my personal experience, is that when you stop eating the bad things for an extended period of time, you stop craving the bad things. I used to love fast food cheeseburgers. I used to love steak. I used to love all of these things. I will give you, people already know this on the internet. I have gout. I have a disease where I have an imbalance of acid in my blood, and if I eat too much of a certain kind of meal, I will actually have intense swelling and pain in my joints, particularly my foot. I had to adjust my meals and my lifestyle so that that doesn't happen, because it literally is debilitating to have it. I can't even walk. It's super painful. It's like someone stabbing my foot constantly. So I had to change my diet to not have those bad things in it anymore. At first, it was a bitch. I hated not having steak. I hated not having fast food burgers and shit like that. But now, I don't crave it at all. In fact, I don't even want it. Like, jokingly, someone would say, oh, you go to McDonald's or whatever. I wouldn't go to McDonald's. Maybe once a year, I would go get the 2 cheeseburger meal at McDonald's. When I go out, I don't want steak. I would prefer chicken or shrimp or something like that to steak, because I stopped eating it. You have to remove that temptation from your diet, and after a while, you will not want it anymore. The problem here is, it sounds to me like once he was out of the house, every temptation came back, every situation. Like he says, it's not only that his girlfriend, but I guess he's living with family members too. How much you want to bet all his family members around him were eating bad? So now he's surrounded by chips, he's surrounded by fast food, he's surrounded by bad shit. Of course you're going to eat it. It's there. It's easier to eat that than to get the healthy food. So I think that sounds like what happened here.
But while he had taken action to improve his physical health, the health of his friendships had degraded significantly, and this would culminate in an event that would isolate him more than his reclusive lifestyle already had.
What now? What's next in this fucking journey? We're still only an hour, 15 minutes in. We got another hour to go.
In March of 2014, during the Painkiller Already podcast, Jordy, Woody, Kyle, and the newer 4th member, Lefty, discussed and considered going on what they called a survival trip, during which they would go out into the wilderness without food, water, or shelter, bringing only some survival implements such as flint and steel, a water purifier, and sleeping bags. Of the 4, Woody, Kyle, and Jordy committed to going.
Me, myself, I've always wanted to try these skills out. It's not because I don't really have any of these skills. I have what you call book knowledge. Like, I know how to start a fire. I know how to, differentiate north from other directions.
Huh?
I've watched so many survival shows.
Their preparation was minimal, and Jordy uploaded videos of himself attempting to light a fire using a magnesium starter.
Damn.
They scheduled to leave approximately a month after they had seriously considered the idea in mid-April of 2014. However, Jordy's survival kit was scant, gathering only 2 knives, a walking stick, gloves, boots, and 2 fire starters.
What is it with these jokers? These guys come up with these fucking ideas. They don't plan properly for any of it. We're going to do a fitness journey for Jordy, but we're not going to involve anyone who's professional involved in it so that he's constipated. Let's call a UFC guy and let's have him drink chia seeds. No professional involved, right? We're going to go on a survival trip. Well, what preparation did we do? We went online and we looked up some survival kit and we slapped them together. Dude, it's like, this is like a comedy show. It's like disaster, disaster, disaster. Why do you think these things went wrong?
By the time he was supposed to leave, he had only expanded this kit with a can of bug repellent and a 3rd fire starter. The compass he bought was broken. Some viewers noticed in his preparation day video there was a bottle of soda in the car, suggesting that he had again been failing in his diet.
There you go.
At last, the day had come for them to go on their survival trip, but immediately, Jordy's compatriots began to sense a problem.
I'm driving in the night before, and I think to myself, hey, let me give old Wings a call, make sure we're all good to go here, because it's Wings. Call him up, say, hey man, get ready to do this thing. I'm driving in now, about 3 hours from the place. What are you up to? You could if you left right now, you'd be here around 11, and you could share this motel room with me. I could get a room with 2 beds or something. He's like, I'm not going. What? What do you mean? I'm not coming. When were you going to tell me? I'm telling you right now. What the? So I call. I text Woody. I'm like, he's not fucking going. He's not fucking going. And so Woody gets on the phone with him. Woody tries to talk, and I'm thinking like Woody's going to talk him into this. I'm still driving with this idea. Woody will talk him into this. Woody's a great motivational speaker when he needs to.
Why? Why are you talking him into it? If he's uncomfortable doing it, he doesn't want to do it. He's overweight. He's trying to go on a life-changing situation to get himself healthier. You're going to put him in a situation where he's uncomfortable. You're going to put him in a situation where likely you guys, because you're all skinny, are going to have a much better time than him. Just imagine him just trying to sleep on a floor. This is fucked up, man. Of course he said he would go. Of course he did. These are his buddies. These are people who, they're trying to, they want to do stuff with him. And, I can understand. I totally understand this. This is like the moment that they thought of this idea, this was not something Wings could do. Like, there's no, how feasibly is he going to, isn't he still, they said he lost some weight. Isn't he still around 400 pounds, maybe 350? How would you expect someone like that to do a survival journey? Wait, hey, Painkiller already is planning to climb Mount Everest. What the fuck are you talking about? No, you can't. One of your guys cannot do it. Why are you making these ridiculous plans? And it just seems to me like that the way that this is pushed, not just pushed, this got not Frederick Knudsen. He's not pushing it anyway. But I'm seeing a pattern here. A pattern of people who are friends, who have all these ideas about content they want to put on the internet, ways that they can get over, they can make money, they can do this, they can do that, but they don't factor in the fact that one of them has a really bad problem with their weight, and they keep roping him into these things. Let's do a fitness journey with no professionals involved. Let's do a survival trip. How is he going to do it? Explain. Oh, well, we're mad because it's the day before he decides he's not coming. But, of course, Wings was going to say he was going to go. He doesn't want to let down his friends. Again, keep in mind, he's got mental issues. He's depressed half the time, if not all the time. He feels like if he says no, he's going to let down all of his friends and everything. And then last minute, he's going to cancel. I could have told you last minute he was going to cancel. He's not going on this trip. I would have been shocked if they actually said he went on the trip.
And I'm sure Woody was filling him with
compilations of me telling Wings, like, if you want to be an extraordinary person, you have to do extraordinary things.
Be a winner, not a loser. Be a doer, not a don'ter.
Oh, that's what you say to someone with mental issues,
yeah,
right?
This sort
you
of
fucking
talk,
assholes.
And he just doesn't fucking come. He just doesn't fucking come. And
okay, now I'm really getting angry. These are 3 guys who don't have any problems with their physical shit. They don't get it. They're not depressed. They don't have body issues. Oh, I don't understand why someone can't just come. Fuck off. Fuck you. Seriously, fuck you fucking piece of shit, to fucking say shit like that. So now the whole internet thinks that Wings is like a terrible villain because he didn't go on this trip. You're the ones who put him in the fucking situation to begin with. You didn't think. You're assholes. This is 100% fucked up. I'm legit angry at this situation. If this is exactly how it went down, I'm legitimately upset. that they put him into that situation. Of course, in his mindset, he's going to say he wants to go. Of course, he's going to cancel. And now let's make fun of him for it. Fuck you. You're not friends. You're dickheads. You're guys who pull along this guy because you think that he's the funny guy in your group. He's the one that everyone can laugh at, and he's the butt of the joke. He's the story everyone tells about. What's the silly thing that happened on our trip? Well, Wings was at it again, right? This is fucked. Seriously.
And it's now it's just me and Woody in the woods. Now it's just kind of weird.
It got gay.
It got gay. It's like I hope nobody.
On April 14th, he uploaded a video attempting to defend his decision, though his confidence in his defense was weak enough for him to disable likes and dislikes.
Still.
Obviously, I didn't show up I didn't go to the PK survival trip today. And I seen people tell me like, oh, why don't you go now? Go now. Do it. Dude, that's not an option. And the reason I didn't tell them ahead of time is mainly because I didn't want to basically start the trend up before and have them try to talk me out of it, because I'd already made my mind up. I wasn't going to go. I didn't want to deal with it. You think I want to be this person? You think I wanted to make a decision where, you know, it could be meaning the end of my channel or the end of friendships? Do you think I want to be like on the outs with Kyle and Woody? No.
Do you see this shit? They put him into that pressure. They put him into that fucking pressure, man. That's fucked. That's not friendship. It's not. They're not making sure that this guy's okay. They're not making sure that this is stuff that he'd be all right and he'd be safe and he wouldn't be hurting himself. And it's not just about the physical too. It's the mental too. It's obvious he's going further and further down into his depression. It's really fucked up. If he had gone, he would have been the reason why the trip was a failure. Let's just make jokes about what happened with Wings the whole trip, right? Like, that literally would have been it. It would have been, oh, this happened with Wings, that happened with Wings, and, you know, this because he was big, this happened, that happened. And again, I'm only doing it from the perspective of what I'm seeing in this documentary. This is bad. This is like, this relationship he had with these guys was actually bad for him. Yeah. It was like fuck up after fuck up, mistake after mistake. I don't know. You know, and I'll tell you what it is. I'll tell you exactly what it is. Those three guys likely don't have any mental illness history at all. They don't have any physical issues. They're nice, healthy, happy guys. So they don't possibly understand how Wings could not want to go, how Wings could do this, do that. Wings is not the same as them. Not everyone is the same. In life, everyone has a different experience. Everyone has a different perspective they're coming from. And you need to learn to walk in someone else's shoes to truly understand another human. You can't just assume everyone's like you. Oh, well, the reason that this person didn't do what I did is because they're lazy. No, it's because they're not you, you fucking stupid piece of shit. For you to even say that shows incredible lack of understanding of anything of the human experience. Really. And this actually legitimately pisses me off. It does. Because I don't like seeing people be put into situations like this, and then after the fact, oh yeah, well, he was the one that fucked up and everything. No, I in this situation, for what I'm seeing, I personally don't think that this is correct at all, what happened to him. This looks like this was a series of things that happened with his friends dragging him down, down, down. The fitness journey's great. Where's the professional involved? And that's why he relapsed. All right, well, we're almost out of time. Let's do a little bit more. Get to the end of this arc.
I got to the point emotionally where I was willing to risk my channel never rebounding. I was willing to risk my friendship with Kyle and Woody because I was afraid of this trip. And that right there should speak volumes of where I was at mentally.
The comments were almost universally derisive, criticizing him for his cowardice and for his numerous excuses. The next Painkiller Already podcast was filmed shortly after Woody and Kyle returned, and Jordy was conspicuously absent. In place of his avatar was a small tombstone, and for the most part, they avoided talking about him.
Yes, I suppose we should talk about the elephant in the room.
Yeah, look. So now he's a tombstone, R.I.P. Oh, he didn't go on the trip with us, he canceled. Oh, we erase him from life now. Because that'll help. That'll certainly help him, right?
Yeah, so we've decided, it was a group decision, we decided that Wings of Redemption wasn't going to continue with us. You know, he's having a hard time, and he's made some decisions that we didn't feel were so friendly, so for the time being.
While the comments showed a strong dissatisfaction with the decision, the hosts were not swayed, and it became clear that they had no intention of inviting Jordy back for the foreseeable future.
Wow.
While Woody had refrained from speaking on the matter, Jordy's attitude on Twitter pushed him to discuss it in a video he released on May 30th, a month and a half after the trip, in which he seemed visibly hurt by what Jordy had said about him and Kyle.
Hey, Woody's gamer tag, you're making a serious video where you're crying and talking about someone. Could you turn the fucking Minecraft off, dude? Like, seriously, for a minute? Can you turn it off? No one wants that shit. This is completely unprofessional, you fucking asshole.
He, the core of it is he says, like, these guys were, that the PKA crew were never friends to him, that we never called him, we didn't share, you know, the money with him and things like that. And that frustrates me because it's a lie. And that's kind of why he's gone, because it was this, like, this constant backstabbing, this constant taking shots at him. Every time he fell into some sort of slump or got grumpy or whatever, he would lash out at all the people that were close to him. The truth is, like, if you follow Wings on Twitter, you know that sometimes he'll just go off about all his personal problems.
Dude, just fucking look at this. Are you shitting me? Look at this. I gotta remove my webcam. This is his fucking stream. He's got an ad in the upper left-hand corner he can't turn off during a serious video. He's advertising a server. Like, what is this? This is content. Imagine if my stream was just this. This is it. This is my stream. Oh, but hold on a second here. Oh, hi everyone. Hi, I'm actually here. I'm making a video for you today. Don't pay any attention to all of this advertisement down there. I'm making a meaningful video for you today. Really, this is an important video. Pay attention to me, not all the advertisement around me. Like, dude, this is absolutely ridiculous. And the shit that they put out, and people digest that and say, oh, that's meaningful content. You think that's meaningful content? Seriously. What this guy's putting out right now, oh, this is a meaningful video I gotta make about Wings to explain the situation. But I can't be bothered to turn off my giant advertisement section at the top of my fucking content. Get the fuck out of here. How can you watch and digest that? Why wouldn't you look at that and take one look at it and say, that guy's an asshole. All he cares about is making a buck off of me. I'm out of here. This shit, if anything, this ReeAck thing I'm doing today is opening my eyes to a whole new level of things out on the internet that I don't pay attention to. This is just, like, absurd. All right, let's continue. By the way, we're about to adjourn for this session.
Put that on Twitter. And I would be the guy that texted him or called him and tried to sort of work it out. I was the guy that held his Twitter account to sort of back off on that a little bit. When obviously Jesus he said that he was going to rape my daughter, rape my wife after he kicked my ass, and he called Colin retarded 100 times. And Wings donated money to that guy because he thought it would make him look good.
What the hell?
Wings gave search engine optimization tips when people were attacking Colin. Like the list is long, man. Oh, remember Wings went on Keemstar's podcast and said that we never gave him any of the money from the show. Why would he say that? I have taken so much undeserved shit for stuff like that. And now if you follow him, he says he just lost a third of his income. Right. To say that we were never his friends is not fair. We would do so much for him. We tried to help him so often. I want the best for Wings. I really do. But I can't have him in my life anymore because he's been so terrible.
And by the way, join us on woodycraft.net tonight for a fun server adventure on Minecraft. Alright, I'm obviously nitpicking here, but what he's saying, and this is completely different from anything that's been in the documentary up to this point. This segment is basically saying that Wings was a chronic liar about his friendship with them. He would constantly do backstabbing, kind of two-faced things to them, and I guess they all kind of collectively were pissed about it, and they still included him on the podcast regardless. But I guess what they're saying, at least my take, what I'm understanding here, is the tipping point was the trip, because they had planned this trip. It was a big part of the content that was going to be on their channels and everything. And then because he backed out, I guess they felt like it was a wasted thing. Like, who cares about just Woody and Kyle going on it, which is exactly my point. Who cares about this fucking guy and Kyle going on the trip? Everyone wanted to see Wing. That's the point I was making here earlier anyway. But so obviously there's two sides to every situation. We don't know the extent of the truthfulness of what either situation is, right? We only know, we're getting it one side, one perspective. We don't know really what was going on. Did Wings get paid or not? I don't know. Did Wings actually befriend and or help people who were being nasty to his friends? I don't know. Why would he do that? What I will say is that coming from a perspective of someone who has had mental illness in the past with depression. I've had depression. Luckily, this point in my life, it every once in a while, it rears its ugly head, but not often, thank God. When you are depressed, you do fucked up things. And a lot of it is actually part of self-destruction. It's because You hate your life, you hate yourself, you hate everything around you. You start having feelings that you don't deserve anything, that you shouldn't have anything. Who are you? Because you're a piece of shit? Why should you have any success? Why should you have friends? Why should you have this? Why should you have that? And you actually purposely start to set yourself up for disaster on purpose, because in some weird twisted way, it feeds into your own depression further. That's happened to me. I've had friendships that I ruined on purpose. Long time ago. I'm not talking about anyone you guys know, by the way. This is long before I was a YouTuber. I feel that, and I'm not defending Wings here in any way, shape, or form. What I'm seeing here is a situation where his friends did not understand him, did not know what was going on with the guy, and not purposely, possibly, maybe it wasn't on purpose, but they consistently were setting him up for disaster over and over and over. And every time that there was a failure or whatever, well, it's just Wings, dump on Wing. But did anyone actually analyze the situation from an outsider's perspective and say, it's probably both sides? Because, yeah, obviously what you can say is Wings did wrong things. Yes, of course he did. There's indefensible things so far in this documentary that you can't say Wings did the right thing in this situation or that situation. But at the very same time, I'm watching this, I'm like, there's no way I can watch this knowing how depression works and not at least tell you that this is a fucked up situation. These guys have no understanding at all of their friend. I'm not defending anything Wings did. He very well might have lied about all that stuff. He might have done helpful things to people who did horrible things to them. But the point I'm making here is they're acting like he did it to be evil. He did it to be mean. He did it because he didn't care about them. Or you look at him. Look at how upset he is in this video. And he's like, I can't have Wings as a part of my life anymore because he keeps hurting me. But why is Wings hurting you? Because he hates himself. And he is hurting himself by hurting you, because when you're not his friend anymore, that's another thing that feeds into his depression. Yeah. And he doesn't get that. And I'm not deflecting blame. Wings did fucked up stuff, but these guys equally should have kind of understood what they were getting themselves into and or done something to understand their friend, from my perspective.
To me and my family. And has done nothing to ever make up for it. I mean, people make mistakes, but this is a guy who talks without thinking and has a policy of never apologizing. And when you combine that, you get a guy that just takes and never gives. And either you get some help so that you can deal with this and compartmentalize the hate and push it to the side, or you reorganize your life so that you don't get this kind of hate anymore. Because what you have now, it's not working for you, man. You're spiraling down.
That's correct.
That's
a correct statement.
On your way up. That's that's where it is. But for my participation, I mean, I feel like I'm the lifeguard and you've been trying to pull me under for 5 years, and after a while, the debt's paid.
As Jordy continued to upload videos, his viewership dwindled further.
Okay, I think that was fucked up, and I think that they definitely, if you're supposedly friends with someone for 5 years, and you constantly are putting them into situations that don't make sense, even if they agree to them, and on top of that, okay, look at all the shit that he did, right? Okay, why did he do it? Did you ever even ask that, or is it just because he's a destructive person? Well, again, I think it's a lack of understanding of the situation, so.
Attempting to buoy his view count, he utilized clickbait titles for his videos and would comment on national news and drama, even talking about an incident when Chris Chan pepper sprayed a GameStop employee. He would also upload videos of himself playing games besides competitive first-person shooters, but these would consistently underperform, with some of them never reaching more than 10,000 views. He struggled maintaining his workout routine and diet, halting and then restarting both multiple times. His personal trainer, Drew, would occasionally cameo to talk about Jordy's progress, his goals, and the workouts he was doing, but Jordy's attitude had turned dour.
This week, Brandy, I don't know if you guys remember Brandy, but Brandy was my last girlfriend. She basically went into a relationship with another guy, and it's like, man, that shit sucks, dude. As you can see my luck firsthand, like if I didn't have bad luck, I'd have no luck at all. Jordan family motto.
At this point, Keemstar had turned drama alert from an occasional
not
Twitter
again!
post to a full...
No, come on, 4 times? 4 fucking times we gotta talk about Keemstar, and this is pissing me off, man. I'm seriously had enough of this shit. I don't want to fucking hear about Keemstar again. I never got that low, for sure. Like, I've been down there when, you know, the height of this is how you don't play, when people were hitting me with false copyright strikes left and right. And yeah, the year when everything went bad for me, my personal life as well, and basically I was living here alone. Yeah, that was a really low time for me. But even through all of that, I always felt positivity from you guys. I mean, I want to definitely shout out my core fan base who watches me. I know many of you may be watching this video or not. My core fan base is super supportive. They're here no matter what. They don't care about any bullshit's going on, what people are saying or doing to me or saying about me. They're here to just chill and have a good time, whether it's gaming, whether it's chilling and just talking, whatever it is. And they got me through a lot. They really did. Like, that was a year of my life that things were falling the fuck apart at every turn. And they were there for me. And I super duper appreciate that. It sounds to me like, sadly, he didn't have that, right? Like, it sounds to me like his whole fan base turned against him at this point, and he just has nowhere to go or anything to do, but he has to just keep doing it for a job. For me, I always still had passion for doing this, and in fact, it was that worst year of my life when I decided to change from being just on-demand videos on YouTube to a full-time interactive live streamer. That changed everything, because now I had direct interactions with my viewing audience on a daily basis, when previously it was just like on-demand video. But he didn't have that. It sounds to me like he would turn on a stream or he would make videos, and it would be like, negative, 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 no support, no one saying good job, no one enjoying what he's doing, negative, negative, negative. That gets to you, man. That absolutely positively fucking gets you. Breaks you. That shit breaks you down. So I'm really sad to hear this part of the story. Goji Tanks did a $4.20 tip saying he's the third strike king. Good for you. Let's continue.
Show, and on October 2nd, 2014, a post that Jordy made was featured.
I've played with the idea of waiting my money out and shooting myself in the head. I even bought a hollow point bullets to do it with.
As Jordy continued to struggle, he would occasionally post to his social media thoughts of suicide, such as in a Facebook post on October 13th, 2014, that read in part, quote, "I don't joke around about stuff like that. I don't want to kill myself, and you don't kill yourself for attention, you do it to escape pain. Life was and still is a huge disappointment full of pain." Attached to the post was a picture of a package of bullets. Hoping to rebuild his career, he started a new podcast in February of 2015 titled The Podcast Show, which surprisingly featured White Boy 7th Street, one of those who had joined the Keemstar's stream a few years prior. However, as the months continued, this show would lose viewership as well, dipping from 40,000 views to 13,000 by August. This reflected an overall trend on his channel. That same month also saw his Let's Plays sometimes netting less than 3,000 views. All of this was in spite of his subscriber count of approximately 450,000, which had decayed from 510,000. Even his videos which featured FPS gameplay would struggle to pass 15,000 views, while others would never reach it. By this point, it was clear that Jordy would not be rejoining the regular Painkiller Already hosts, though he would still be invited occasionally for uneventful discussion. As he lost motivation, he would both upload and stream less, continuing into 2016.
Because around January 2013, I stopped trying as hard. I was worn out. I was posting 3 videos a day. I was doing the most I could, and my entire life revolved around numbers. What killed my channel was me. I pretty much killed my channel because I allowed myself to become so obsessed with money that I never took time out to enjoy myself. And it
gotta give a lot of credit to him for admitting something like that, because it took a long time for me to kind of look at my channels and say, yeah, the reason why there was a sharp decline in my viewership is because I stagnated. I was doing the same thing over and over. I wasn't innovating. I wasn't listening to constructive criticism. Yes, there's definitely a trolling element that hurt me, but absolutely a lot of the reason why my channel went into a big decline is because I wasn't adapting. He's admitting I was so focused on the money, on the numbers aspect, I didn't make it entertaining anymore. Good on him. Good on him for actually admitting his shortcomings and mistakes and not making excuses.
It molded me into a person that I didn't like.
Attempting to explain himself, he released a video on August 26th, 2016 called "I'm Going to the Doctor."
The fuck happened?
So, you might be asking me like, well, Jordy, what are you up to lately? You don't really do YouTube that often. You know, you stream rarely. The last couple of years, I've developed this thing called anxiety, and I never used to have it. But
but now it hits me in waves. Like,
As 2017 came, his uploads continued to dwindle along with his viewership, and this coincided with an increase in his weight again. Where he had once been approximately 380 pounds, he now was approximately 470 pounds, and he was beginning to complain about his back pain more. He had been discussing bariatric surgery as a method to reduce his weight for many years, but as his weight continued to increase, this surgery grew more and more appealing, and he soon began to see it as the only way to improve his life, believing that he could not have any job besides making gaming content at his current weight. What's more, another aspect of his financial situation was slowly coming to be known.
I don't know what that
For
list
some
was.
time, Jordy had been paying for his mother's mortgage on the modular home.
Oh, boy.
She had promised Jordy that once he was finished paying it for her, she would give it to him. He had even boasted that he had made the last payment on the mortgage in a video on October 23rd, 2014. But at some point, once the mortgage was paid off, she went back on her word, and instead of giving the house over to Jordy, she took out a second mortgage and promised Jordy that this time, once he had paid off the new mortgage, he would receive the house. And so, he continued to pay.
This guy has... What the fuck? Is this serious? This guy has the worst people in his life. Wow! So not only was he previously supporting his girlfriend, or his ex-girlfriend, and her family, and then he kicked them out, but he was paying for his whole, basically his whole family. He was paying for the house with this money. Now that's where his YouTube money was going every month. It was going to this house. And then he pays it off, and then there's a, what the fuck is that? But holy fuck, dude. If that ever happened to me, I'd be like, okay, so here's what you can do. All right, you can go fuck yourself. I never want to talk to you ever again in your entire life. I'm done with you. You're dead to me. I'm moving the fuck out. I'm getting my own apartment with my own YouTube money. I'm not dealing with you ever again. That is the most scumbag move. But then again, we don't know exactly 100% if this is the situation or not, right? We don't. We're just basing it off of what we're seeing in this video or what we're hearing. We don't actually know what's going on. Was this actually what happened, or is this a half story? I don't know. If this story is 100% true, if we're to believe everything we're being told in this documentary, that is fucked up beyond belief, and I can't believe that he would still even be speaking with someone like that and or having them part of his life, and that if he's paying this fucking second mortgage, oh my fucking god.
Despite these payments, his credit rating was still incredibly low because instead of paying them directly, he was transferring money into his mother's bank account every month.
What?
Recognizing that his YouTube channel was likely not worth pursuing much longer, he changed his focus to Twitch, choosing to rely on live streams more than videos.
Smart.
According to himself, in 2016, he would average anywhere between 250 to 400 viewers at a time.
So he did it a year before me. I did it in early 2017 during my Breath of the Wild playthrough, and he did it about a year before. We both realized that fucking YouTube was a sinking ship and to get the fuck out of there.
Quickly gained a reputation for being aggressive and volatile, both towards those with whom he was playing and his own viewers, banning...
Well, I don't know anything about that. I wouldn't know anything about being aggressive or volatile to anyone on the internet. Everyone knows me as Mr. Smiley and Mr. Wonderful.
People for minor or saying things he disagreed with. One person from Reddit noted in 2017 that, quote, "When I left YouTube, he said he was going to lose weight, but he is fatter than ever. Not only that, but he is meaner than ever. He talks to his viewers like shit. One guy genuinely offered to teach him how to properly play Rainbow Six, which Wings was struggling at, and Wings told him, if you keep backseat gaming, I'm gonna fucking block you. Then he told a 36-month subscriber that he hopes their parents die in a car wreck because the kid beat him in a 1v1.
The first comment I can understand, because if you're on a stream, you're genuinely trying to do good at a game, you feel like you could get good at a game, you're trying to learn it, and immediately someone's like, let me teach you, let me tell you this, let me tell you that. It could be obnoxious. Especially when you're in the heat of the moment, you're already angry because you're getting your ass beat, and now someone's going to sit there and be like, I'm going to tell you this and tell that. Shut up. Let me play the game for myself, and maybe later, if I need help, I'll ask for it. That is one thing that's a problem on the internet. If someone wants help, they'll ask for it, right? If I'm playing Elden Ring and I can't beat a boss and I'm stuck, help me. I'll ask for it. Don't just fucking flood me with solutions to shit right off the bat. Don't spoil, okay? So I can understand the first situation. The second situation here, he lost to a kid in a 1v1 and hoped that they died in a car wreck. That is inexcusable. But again, this is a Reddit post. Did this really happen? I don't know. Okay.
Keep in mind, this is a 30-year-old man.
I'm just trolling you, chill.
Whatever. I hope your family dies in an automobile wreck.
What the fuck? Okay, never mind. Never mind. Never mind. That didn't take very long. Personally, many years ago, over a decade ago, I left a YouTube comment on someone's channel saying something like die in a fire or something like that. And I shouldn't have done that. It was kind of like a thing that people said when you didn't like people back then. And then people misconstrued it. Like, they were like, wow, you really want him to die in a fire? I was like, no.
The 36-month subscriber that he
hear that
hopes their
again.
parents die in a car wreck because the kid beat him in a 1v1. Keep in mind, this is a 30-year-old man.
I'm just trolling you, chill. It's not
Whatever. I hope your family dies in an automobile wreck.
What?
On top of this, he seems
What?
very depressed now. He spends every stream just constantly bitching about how he doesn't get enough viewers to support his fat, lazy, degenerate lifestyle. It makes me feel unwanted as a fan. He also complains and gets very angry literally every time he dies. I've never heard Wings admit he got outplayed. It's always outside forces that cause him to die in-game, whether it be lag, OP weapons, bad teammates, etc. It's literally never his fault.
Well, that's just an awful, awful, awful way to game, and I can't believe anyone would ever blame an outside factor for their failure in any kind of a game, ever. Okay, obviously I'm being facetious. Everyone says that I do that all the time, and yes, I do. It's usually the heat of the moment, and then I will correct myself later. But yes, absolutely, yes, that sounds like me. I don't tell people to die in an automobile wreck, but I do blame everything under the sun besides me.
I even saw him throw a controller at his TV out of anger. Also, his shirt was dirty. It looked like he hadn't showered in 3 days and he was greasy. I really hope he can find it within himself to get his life together. He also said that he had a gun in his hand, was considering killing himself because he wasn't getting the Twitch viewers he feels he deserves, and if he can't make a living off of video games, then he doesn't want to live. He legit said that shit. But soon, due to a quirk of YouTube's algorithm, he would again attract attention and viewership of an entirely different kind.
Joke's on them. If they join one more time, I'm going back online and I'm stacking a team up.
On November 16th, 2017, a YouTube user going by Sean Ranklin
Wait, oh no, this is, okay, now I'm going to understand this reference. So this is October 2017, Sean Ranklin, okay.
posted a video titled, Wings of Redemption gets stream sniped and loses it. Up to this point, people had learned that they could annoy Jordy by joining his games and harassing him, much to the amusement of many of those watching. During one stream, he was apparently having difficulty controlling his temper, reacting more strongly than usual, and Sean Ranklin created a compilation showcasing this.
Come the fuck on, man! Real talk! Dude, shut the fuck up, dude. You're a little kid.
Troll! Oh no! That's the worst! That. Yo, look, he's like weaving. Oh my god! Oh my god, dude. And the worst part of this is, damn.
Webby, fucking leave, dude.
His name is Webby. He's gonna break his controller, isn't he? He's gonna snap it.
Like, if somebody could give me, like, their information, like their name, their address, the number, how I can get in contact with these guys, I would really like to know, because, like, I'm seriously considering suing them. No, they're joining through recent players.
Can't sue them.
Look here! Look, listen! Appearing offline does not fucking stop it. So stop giving fucking advice you know nothing about. I'm banning anybody trying to give me advice. Real talk.
Alright, I've seen it. I've seen it in context. Obviously, it's really stupid what he just said, but at the same time, I've completely 100% been there. When you are just trying to have a good time, to put out an entertaining product for a live audience. That's the worst, too, when it's a live audience. Because the difference between if you're doing an on-demand video and, oh, the video's ruined, I'll just fucking do another one. Big deal. But when you're doing it for a live audience, that shit is out there. And obviously, it feels like a waste of your time if you can't play your game. This has happened to me. And I'm in the heat of the moment. And then people were like, well, why don't you try this? Why don't you try that? Why don't you try this? And how about this? How about all of you shut the fuck up and let me get a cool head and let me try to realize what's going on and figure it out. Because by everyone hitting me from every fucking direction with suggestions and shit, all you're doing is you're making my brain get scrambled. I'm already heated, right? I'm already so pissed at what's going on online that there's no way I'm going to respond to you in a logical method. It's going to be anger and pure lava heat coming out of me, right? So I totally, 100% understand where he's coming from. Now, in no situation is it okay to be insulting like that unless someone is actually trying to insult or attack you. It sounds like he's asking people, can you help me? I want to get these guys. They're fucking with me. And people are saying a bunch of shit that he already knows isn't going to work. And it's just extrapolating his anger. It's worse. And we're like big build, right? Big build. So what I can say is this. Kind of, if this was out of context and I didn't understand the situation of being a content creator, trying to put on an entertaining stream for an audience of hundreds, having it being ruined by a bunch of shitheads somewhere in the world, hiding out some anonymous scumbag, and you feel helpless, and you feel like there's nothing you can do to stop it, and now what do you do? Because now this is what you do. Your night is fucked. I can completely understand where the anger's coming from, 100%. And again, I don't think it's acceptable, but I've been there, and I've done that. I've done shit just like that. I have, 100%. And I'll be honest with you guys, I don't think that quote is funny now. Actually, now that I've seen it in context, I don't get any pleasure from that, laughing at that. I don't think that's to be laughed at. Like, that's a combination of pure white-hot anger and disappointment and sadness that he wants to put out something meaningful to a viewing audience and he can't because these idiots found a way to ruin it, and there's no immediate solution, and everyone's flooding him with shit that's probably not helping, like almost like a know-it-all mentality. Well, you could just do this, you could just do that, you could just do this, you could just do that, do this, do that, to fix it. What happens to me sometimes, too, is people yell at me, oh, now your stream's doing, what are you fucked up, Phil? How could you do this? Like, how's it my fault? I actually don't think that's funny at all. I think that's actually fucked up. I actually feel for Wings in this moment. He's done a lot of fucked up things in this documentary. This is one that I feel for him, and I completely understand where he's coming from, how angry he is, because it's happened to me. It's fucked up when a lot of people pile on you when you're doing your best to try to put out something entertaining, and you can't because someone's ruining it, and then you get anger in you, and you got to let it out somehow. No, he shouldn't be lashing out at his audience, but I know why he did, and I actually literally don't think that's funny, man. I don't find that funny in any way. You guys are free to meme about it as much as you fucking want. Seriously. But that's not funny to me at all. That's a guy that's being tormented. Seriously. Let's continue. Damn! Wait, what is that? Someone just subscribed when he slammed his controller, huh? Someone subscribed as he slammed it, or did he slam it and it made the pop-up happen? That was like perfect timing. He slams the controller and then a subscription notification pops up. He punches his wall, makes a nice hole. I've been there too. In my youth, I did stupid shit like that. I haven't done that in many years. Because there ain't no purpose in doing that. All you're doing is wrecking your own shit.
I give up. I don't know when I'll stream again. I really need to make this fucking money. I really wanted to get this fucking surgery, man. I wanted it so fucking bad.
Here's all the memes right now.
I just can't do it. I can't take this shit no more, man. All I wanted to do was, like, I was fucking lonely. I wanted to just fucking stream and
yeah, see?
Have a good time, man. Have a good game.
See? Exactly what I said. Dude, and I didn't even watch this yet. That's exactly what I just said. All he wants to do is have a good game. All he wants to do is put on some entertainment for an audience. All he wants to do is what he's known for and make people happy and make it, you know what I mean? And these fucking pieces of fucking human feces fuck with him so bad and he can't do it. And now it's meaningful to him. He's trying to fucking raise money to get something that he thinks might save his life. And these people are taking that away from him. I don't understand how people can laugh at this. I'm not laughing at all. I'm about to fucking tear up. I'm pissed. I'm pissed and I'm sad. Of course, I probably would have turned the camera off if I was going to have a breakdown like this. But then again, I leave the camera on for all kinds of stuff, don't I? Anyway. Sorry, I was trying to bring some light to the situation.
Sorry. I'm so sorry.
This video quickly went viral, and as of today, it has 1.4 million views, With the success of this first video, Sean would continue creating highlight videos of Jordy's streams, focusing on perceived faults in his character. The success of Sean Ranklin's channel encouraged similar compilation channels, and over the months, more and more would appear, combing through his...
So wait a minute. This didn't start for him until 2017? I didn't know that. You know, people have been making This Is How You Don't Play videos about me since like 2011, 2012. So I had it for like 5 fucking years before this, and then he started going viral for him. Damn, that sucks. But I thought it was longer standing than that. I actually didn't know that it was a more recent thing.
His streams to find moments that they found particularly egregious or of entertainment value. References to these videos would begin to populate his stream chat, especially memorable phrases from Sean's first upload, such as "look here, look, listen," and variations on "ban anyone who tries to give me advice." He would audibly order his mods to ban anyone who used certain terms or said certain things, but these bans were easily circumvented with new accounts.
Oh, there's another one.
Look at that bullshit, dude. Fuck! I put so many hours into Rainbow Six, and all I've done is lose viewers. I lost 5 subscribers while playing Rainbow Six. 5. I was struggling to keep 150 views. I'm almost at 300 on a game I fucking hate. It's a game I fucking hate, dude. I detest this game. This game makes me hate fucking life. It really does.
That's why you're getting the
and
views.
motherfuckers that come in here just to watch this shit, I hate you too.
Wow.
I literally do.
That's why he's getting the views.
I wish you just wouldn't show up,
he's saying
so I didn't
extreme
have
shit.
to play this shit. So like, it would just fail like Rainbow Six.
With pressure now coming from viewers looking to antagonize him, Jordy continued to lean more and more heavily onto the idea that some form of bariatric surgery would improve and even fix his life. On December 2nd, 2017, he posted a video to his channel to solicit opinions from his viewership. He noted that he was considering multiple kinds of surgery, but more importantly, he had yet to decide where he would receive it. If he chose America, it would cost in excess of $25,000, but if he went to the Mexico Bariatric Center, the total cost would be closer to $6,000.
Mexico Bariatric Center? Like the entire country of Mexico Bariatric Center. Doesn't seem very kosher to me, but maybe I'm wrong. Mexico. Now I know the meme, because the meme was always that he apparently would cross the border to get the surgery in Mexico, and everyone jokes about that too.
Since his income had decreased significantly over the years, the latter was proving the more favorable.
Like, this surgery scares me to shit. But like, I'm at a point in my life where it's like I'm 31. I got nothing going for me other than like a Twitch and YouTube channel. And like, I'm chronically unhappy with my entire life. And like, I hate video games.
Wow.
Like, there's no joy left in them. Like, I do them, I've been doing them. I've had to play it for like 10 hours a day for 10 years. This is $3,995. I have that money now. I literally have that money now. Part of me gets excited thinking about it, that by the summer of next year, I might not be a fat dude anymore. If I go this route, I could pursue things outside the house that I normally wouldn't do.
This only works if you have the support system in place to make sure that you're in an environment that you're not going to make it fail. Yes, you can get the surgery, but you also need to be sure you don't have people around you doing unhealthy things like eating junk food and doing that. You have to have people supporting you, so you'll go exercise. You'll do the things to make it work. It can't just be, go get it, and then it's magic fix. It doesn't, there's no magic fix in life for this. You know what I mean? So, again, this is another situation where it was like, it seemed like, oh, we're going to have a quick fix. No, going to the rehab club isn't going to give you the quick fix. You need to have the support after to keep you in line so you don't gain the weight back. No, the gastric sleeve surgery will not work unless you have the support in place. And it seems to be he didn't have it the first time. So obviously he doesn't have it now. He's saying, I have nothing. You hear he just said, I have nothing. But don't you live with your family? I have nothing. So to me, that says his family's not going to help him. No one's helping this guy. He's on his own. So it's almost like you're destined to fail. Like, I understand the situation. Like, he's like, I need to do something because my life is falling apart. But at the same time, it's like, I don't know if there was ever a chance of this working. Destined to fail. Unless he has a support system here, he's destined to fail in this.
Better energy. I wouldn't be a slave to food. I wouldn't be a prisoner of my own body anymore. I might be able to find
a loving relationship that will last, and not people that will give up on me because I can't be as mobile or as active as a boyfriend needs to be.
Even so, the failure rate of the Mexican doctor was significantly higher than that of the American doctor. Soon, he began soliciting donations for the surgery during his streams in the event he chose to get it in America. As he floundered on which doctor to visit, the most dedicated among the new group of detractors would congregate in servers hosted on Discord with names such as Whale Watchers and Sean Ranklin fans.
These still
and
exist?
soon, at least one had in excess of 1,000 members. What was perhaps more remarkable was that when Jordy became aware of these Discord servers, he requested to join them so that he could have a discussion with their denizens.
Bad
and many
idea.
People eagerly obliged his request for
Very
conversation.
bad idea.
It appears that this meeting took place in early 2018, recorded and uploaded by Wingstings in a video edited to highlight what they found to be the most interesting parts.
You wouldn't make videos.
All right, hold on. Leo took me $1.50 and says, from this video, 2017-2018 Wings reminds me of 2013 and 2014 you, in the terms of reacting from trolls and bait and getting bothered by people making fun of gameplay and stuff. He's 5 years behind. I mean, I agree with you. For anyone out there who's getting trolled, for anyone out there who's getting harassed by people online, I'm going to give you the best piece of advice I could give anyone on the internet. The best way to avoid further harassment is to ignore it. Not to create a space for it, not to address it, not to engage it, but to ignore it. Now, yes, there may be people who say, well, if you're ignoring all the things people say about you, they must be true. That's false. And the thing is, people who are believing that, they will never like you anyway, okay? There won't. Those are people who hate you, and they're going to say what they want about you anyway. Doing what he's doing right here and actually directly stepping into the lion's den, as you would call it, addressing the trolls, is the worst possible choice you can make, because you're giving them the space they want to be heard, you're giving them the time, you're giving them the opportunity to say all kinds of shit, and it's just going to make you feel worse. As I said, it's called moving the goalpost. It doesn't matter what he says to them. He will always be in the wrong, and he will never be satisfactory to them whatsoever. It's a hate group, dude. It's a hate group that hates you. There's no reason to engage with them ever. I can't imagine what's about to happen. This is going to be the worst possible choice. Okay.
That just trash me unmercifully. You guys have kept me up crying so many nights. People said, videos being made.
This is what they
want.
want.
The fact is, like, you're going to hurt my chances to get a job later on in life.
And that's what they
want. Why
want.
do you feel the need to pick on me, though? Like, seriously, like,
Wings, I'll be brutally honest with you, right? The only reason that these channels exist is because you react.
Yep. Yep.
Because I react, but I can't stop reacting. I'm never going to stop reacting. It's part of my personality. The
Then
fact
you're
is,
fucked.
like, how am I supposed to move on if you guys keep creating things?
Ignore it.
You can't ignore it. You can't ignore it, dude.
You can ignore it. You can.
We're just fans, man.
You can ignore it to some extent. It's absolutely true. You can't 100% ignore it. Like, if someone actually comes up with something really messed up, like accusing you of a crime, accusing you of, you know, something that would, I guess, even be considered cancelable in the modern day. But then again, usually when people make those kind of accusations, they have to have receipts for it. It can't just be like, oh, he went out and he shot someone. Okay, where's the evidence? Like, what the fuck are you talking about, right? But in some cases, there have been times when I had to address it, when it's something that directly affects me or my business. Like if my streams are getting fucked up because of trolling and stuff, obviously I have to tell you guys what's going on, right? If there's false copyright claims or whatever. Yeah, in general, you don't address it. In fact, just for a frame of reference here, you guys probably know only about 1/3 of the things that have happened to me over the years that I've decided to publicly talk about. And some of it's because it's stuff that happens on my streams. I can't avoid showing you that. But there's been fucked up thing after fucked up thing after fucked up thing that people have done to me behind the scenes. That's like insane amounts of shit. And I'm not gonna, that's what I mean. I'm gonna talk about it. If I mention any of it, all I'm doing is giving them the attention they want. And now that to them, they got the recognition, keep doing it. The person who he's talking to on this Discord is truthful in what they're saying, but also they're obviously hypocritical. They're on a fucking Discord that's there just to hate on the guy. The problem is, it sounds to me that he just can't help it. He can't help himself, right? He even says it. That's my personality. I can't help it. That's bad. Because all it's going to do is get worse and worse forever. It will never get better then. And to some extent, listen, ignoring it, it's not necessarily going to get better, but at least what happens is now you have a following of people who still like you and like your content, and all those dumbass fringe groups can be sitting out there doing their own dumb shit and be separate from your content. You know what I'm saying? That's kind of what's happened to me. I got my own streams. I got my own content. I'm good here. I got a fan base that supports me. There's always nonsense out there. There's always a conspiracy theory. There's always some horse shit being said about me, but I don't care. Because I don't address it, no one cares. Anyone here on my stream is having a good time. and then let them do their own shit. Let them have their circle jerking kumbaya streams and shit out there about how they hate me and everything. I don't care. Let them have their cults, you know. And that's what he needed to learn how to do. But instead, he's directly engaging. He's the worst possible thing. Oh, I bet it got way worse for him after this. I bet it did. Okay.
Just take the videos down. Just delete the channels.
Can't take this shit no more, man. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
You're fucking asshole. You're an asshole. You realize that? You're making fun of an honest reaction, dude. Like you in real life, I really do. I would beat your fucking teeth in.
There you go.
I would beat your fucking teeth in, dude. I really would.
Threaten, man. Come on.
You don't doubt that. What are you gonna do to me? What are you gonna do to me? What are you gonna do? Put your bitch ass in the kneecap. That's what I'd do.
Oh,
I'd
come on,
incapacitate you, and then I'd beat you with the fucking pistol grip until your teeth fell out your head.
Wow.
I hate you. He's so fucking much, dude. Like literally. Like I've done nothing to you guys. I've done literally zero to you. You're not helping me. You're motherfucker sitting online right now with like a picture of me with like tears on his face. You're sitting on a channel dedicated to me. Your whole YouTube channel is dedicated to me. You have a shrine of how much you worship me. All you do is...
In the end, little came of this meeting for Jordy besides further ridicule.
Sadly, he's right. He's absolutely right. It becomes a cult, a shrine to bringing down this particular person. There's no actual meaning behind it anymore. At one point, maybe there was, and then there ends up being nothing at all. Seriously. That's bad. I mean, I've been there. I know exactly how he feels, but I'm certainly not going to sit there and address the people doing it to me. They don't even deserve a breath out of my mouth, you know?
Making new enemies, he would quite suddenly encounter an old one. During one of his live streams in early 2018, he noted, quote, "I don't like Keemstar. I want nothing to do with him. If I had my way and I could will it, I wish he would get in a car wreck. I literally do. He's the only person I can think of right now that I wish would literally die."
Wow.
I'm dead serious. Like, if somebody deserved to die on this planet, Daniel King would be one of them. That's dead serious. Like, if you wanted to do Sharia law, Daniel King should be one of the first people to die and have his hands chopped off. He's a despicable person, and that is word to your mother truth right there.
Shortly afterward, Keemstar would upload a video voicing his displeasure upon learning of this comment.
Yeah, seriously.
I laughed my ass off. And Blade laughed his ass off, and Overflow laughed his ass off.
Who the fuck are they?
And the more I thought about it, the laughter just turned into anger. I'm mad. Now, should I be mad? No. Wings is known for saying dumb, stupid shit and is never held accountable for his words. So, yeah, I shouldn't be mad, but I am. And the reason why I'm mad is because Wings said that I'm evil. I'm the most evil person that he's ever met. But then went on to say that I should die. He went on to say that I should die. You have 1 hour to agree with a fucking debate with me, or I'm taking this to Twitch staff, and they're going to decide whether or not it was a death threat or not.
See? And this is the problem. You can't say shit like that at all. You can't. You just can't, because now what you've done, you gave the person ammo. You see? It's one thing to criticize. Like, I hate this guy. Everyone knows that. I don't like this person at all. I've criticized him in this series. I've criticized him on my streams. I do not wish this guy harm or death. That's ridiculous. I just wish that he would stop profiting off of the suffering of others like he's done his whole career on YouTube. But I actually wish that he would reform and do something positive, something constructive for the world. Because he has talent. If he didn't have talent and charisma, he wouldn't be popular. The problem is he could redirect his talent and charisma towards something positive that could help people. And instead, he spent the greater part of 10, 15 years tearing people down in order to actually get popular. But I would never wish harm on someone like that. I actually want him to get better. You know what I'm saying? I want him to improve. I would feel that anyone has a chance to turn around and do something better for themselves. Whether it's just their behavior, whether it's whatever it is. And I feel that this guy could actually become a good guy in the long run. I think he has the potential to do it. I think that he has to mature a lot to realize what he's done was so harmful. But yeah, like I say, that what Wings did here is completely in the wrong. And what ends up happening is when you do shit like that, he lost his cool again. He says whatever he wants. And now this put the power in the hands of Keemstar because he made this threat. And now Keemstar can basically hold him by the balls. And it sounds like that's what he's about to do.
I'm not playing any games. I'm not a
The two would confront each other once again in a live stream, during which they would attack and insult each other, enumerating how each of them had somehow wronged the other or had committed morally reprehensible actions over the years. But this time, where Jordy once had been in a position of power, he was now much weaker in terms of influence.
All that clip simply states is, I don't like who you are as a person. And in my personal experience, you're one of the worst people I've ever met. Like, on a moral standpoint.
So many times. I tried to help you so many times. I got you involved with the Billionaires Challenge thing.
How about after the Billionaires Challenge, where you and Blade decided to sit there and make fun of me and call me a retard, saying that you hope Wings continues to make videos forever so you can laugh at me? What about that?
But that's the strongest thing you have going for you. I mean, Wings things.
What about the lie you just said just a while ago, where you said you're wing tings? What about you're not wing tings?
And I'll tell you what, Wing Tings is entertaining. And you know why it's entertaining? Because
he just changed the topic twice. Within two things that Wings called him out for, he changed the topic completely twice because he had no valid reaction to it. He was caught out and basically said, oh, I'll change the topic, redirect. Does anyone ever call out Keemstar for this stuff? Like, seriously, how is he get away with this? And why does anyone watch this?
All your fuck-ups, like you crying and you being upset, that is the most entertaining thing about you. I'm sorry, Wings, but it is. It always has been.
And I'm trying to use that to better myself. I got this surgery. I'm gonna get the surgery done. I'm gonna shed one of my biggest catalysts in my entire life. Hopefully I can find the strength to do that.
As these streams with Jordy tended to go, he began speaking about his own personal anxieties and struggles.
And like, I don't have, like, I'm not in the case where I'm like, just a dude that's like 250 pounds, like, oh, this didn't work out, let me fall back on my metallurgy fucking degree. Well, it's not a degree, but like job, like my metallurgy job, right? I can't do that. I'm 450 pound land monster that has entrophied muscles. Like, what the future for me, if I stop this at this point in time, is to go telemarket or work at some kind of call center, or cut movie tickets or something like that, which is that's a good living for a lot of people, but like, it's not what I want for me, right? Kind of call center.
There we go. Perfect
cut
time.
Movie tickets or something like that, which is that's a good living for a lot of people, but like, it's not what I want for me, right? And like,
this is so boring. You're literally giving me the like victim card, sad card stuff.
Whatever you want to call it, man. Like, the fact is,
why don't you just stop being a victim? Why don't you just stop being a victim? All right. I'm sorry. I'm getting loud and angry.
I'm trying to stop being a
victim.
How do you stop being a victim when everyone on the internet constantly attacks you? It's impossible. When you are always the target of something, you can't not be a victim. You are a victim. He was very upset. He said something stupid on a stream. Keemstar could have said, well, this doesn't really affect me at all. No one cares. I'll ignore it. You instead pulled him onto your live stream because you threatened to have him banned from Twitch, and now you're complaining to him for being a victim. You're the one who set him into that position. He's the victim of you forcing him to be on this stream. This is 1,000,000% hypocritical, zero self-awareness at all by Keemstar, and it's completely fucked up. Do I agree? No, he should have never threatened Keemstar. Of course not. That was completely in the wrong. But at some point, you got to pick your battles and grow up and be mature and be like, okay, people say shit about me, ignore it. You think don't be a victim. You just made him a victim. You forced him to be a victim on your own stream, and now you're saying don't be a victim. Wow, you're a genius.
Trying to stop being a victim. Why do you think I'm working toward bettering myself?
I'm going to give you real advice. This is real advice, all right? Percent. This is like not Keemstar. This is Dan Keem talking to Jordy.
Mm-hmm.
You have been doing this for a very long time. And as you do this online internet stuff, what happens with your health and your happiness? Nothing. All right? The only way you are ever going to be happy, honestly, is by quitting the internet.
Around this time, Jordy seemed to have made up his mind about getting bariatric surgery, believing that it was the only way that he feasibly could lose weight.
So every moment he's doing content, he hates it. But he can't get out of the content. To get out of the content, he has to repair his life, his physical ability to do something else outside of just sitting there playing games all day. The only way to do that is to make more content to raise the money to get the surgery. It's like a vicious fucking circle. It never ends. It's an endless circle that he's stuck in. At this point, I would say, for me, I love what I do. I love doing this right now. This is a really cool day that I had today hanging out with all of you and doing this content. It was very unique and interesting. I love my daily gameplay streams. I like the podcast I do every day. I have a ton of fun with it. You know what I mean? Like, that's why I persevere to do it. Even if I got tough times and shit, I still want to do it. I still love it. I think it's going to have value for a lot of people. It has value for me. He's not in that situation. He's way worse off than me. He's like, I hate everything I'm doing, and I'm just stuck doing it. That's terrible. Terrible situation. The history of me being a content creator, when I started way back when in 2008, there was no example of anyone else who had done it like this before me. I had no one's life I could follow. I had no blueprint. There was no outline on how to do it right. There was no, oh, if someone fucks with you, ignore them. No one told me that. There was no history of this yet. So for me, I was going through it for the very first time. I was a trailblazer in a lot of ways, and that's why I made a lot of fucking mistakes doing it, because I was completely oblivious to what could possibly happen if you make a bad decision, you make a bad joke, you do a bad thing. People need to look at these stories and learn from them. For two things: don't do it yourself. Don't become Wings. Don't become, to some extent, early Dark Side Phil, okay? But at the same time, for God fucking sakes, grow the fuck up. Stop harassing these people. They don't fucking deserve to have their lives ruined because you think it's funny.
He was still considering both America and Mexico as options. He learned that the American doctor would refuse to perform the operation unless he could reduce his weight to 400 pounds.
Okay.
While Jordy would
What was he at?
sometimes share his weight, viewers were consistently dubious about his honesty, as he had a history of bending the truth.
I wonder
For
what he
example,
really
in
weighed.
2013, while recording a podcast, he had claimed that he had been shot in the leg after shouting at a man breaking into his mother's car, but he would later admit that this scenario was a fabrication. In this case, he claimed to be 460 pounds. He also revealed that he was prescribed a medication called Lexapro, an antidepressant used to control the effects of anxiety. But almost immediately after he stated his intentions, his life would undergo a sudden and violent interruption.
Let's see. Shit milkshake to wash it down.
On March 6th, only 2 days after the video about his bariatric surgery, he uploaded a video entitled, "So, I Got Swatted," which shows his stream with an empty chair and the sounds of a SWAT team in the background.
It's fucked up. I was swatted. It was scary, but not as scary as it could have been, because I had previously notified my law enforcement out here when I moved here that this could possibly happen, because I was an internet streamer. So luckily when they came, they kind of knew it was probably a hoax. They still came in, they checked my shit, but it's fucked up. We don't need to go into how bad swatting is. Everyone now agrees people have died during these events and things. It's fucked up. I'm shocked it took this long. What is this, 2018 now? It's 2017 or 2018. I think it's 2018. I mean, damn. This guy's been the ire, or under the ire of the internet for a long, long time. And, you know, I was swatted in 2015. I'm surprised it happened that late. I'm surprised we didn't hear about it earlier. Because in this regard, like, I'm trying to think, like, a lot of people had been involved in news stories about swatting at this point. So it's kind of messed up this happened so recently. It's kind of scary, actually.
At one point, a SWAT team member walks in front of the camera for a short time.
Exactly what happened with
During
mine, I
this
think, right?
video, they ask who might have called in the team, and Jordy can be overheard giving a particular compilation channel name.
Wings Tings, he's gonna say? Yeah, he said Wings Tings.
This came shortly after the high-profile case of Andrew Finch, who was killed in a swatting incident, and in
There
light
you
of
go.
this development, Wings Tings deleted their channel, citing their discomfort with the troll community.
Wow.
Unsurprisingly for onlookers, Jordy was unable to lose the weight in the time frame he had set for himself, and so he committed to getting the surgery in Mexico, though the ponderous way he went about planning it made onlookers dubious about his resolve. In the meantime, new channels were appearing that copied Sean Ranklin's style of highlighting moments from Jordy's streams. What's remarkable about these highlights, however, is that they would not only highlight his moments of rage and
What the fuck is that
frustration,
box stuck
but
out?
also genuinely humorous moments, creating a surprisingly broad view of Jordy. However, the comments would reveal the most prevalent reason for viewers to watch these videos, as did the donation messages, such as one that read, quote, "Can you call your grandma? I have a turd stuck up my ass and I need help getting it out." People would tease him with his verbal tics, such as real talk, look here, and big ups, as well as frequently quoting Sean Ranklin's first video. They would also come up with numerous names for him. For example, upon discovering documentation that someone had at least once lived at Jordy's address by the name of Richard, people began to suspect that this was Jordy's legal first name. While this rumor proved untrue, calling Jordy Richard clearly upset him, and so people began calling him variations of it, with one common comment becoming "Big Ups Liquid Richard." They also began teasing him for his love of Wendy's chili and microwaved banquet meals, which he would occasionally eat on stream. Point, he had become openly vocal about the reason he continued to stream.
The only way I play this game is in hopes to get donations and subscriptions. Like that's the only reason I'm playing it.
In a somewhat surprising turn of events, the members of the Painkiller Already podcast began discussing Jordy as well, speculating whether or not he would receive the surgery for which he had pined for years. Most notably, on April 21st, the Painkiller Already podcast hosted content producer Mr. Medicare, and a significant portion of the episode was dedicated to Woody and Kyle describing Jordy and his numerous misadventures, told.
So this now it comes full circle. This was the podcast that was way early on, like over an hour ago. And now they're coming full circle that this is when they were doing all this. So, guy, you've disassociated yourself with the guy. You've kicked him off your podcast. You have nothing to do with the guy. You don't talk to him anymore. There's no association. Let's have a show where we bring on a guest and we just riff on him the whole show. Doesn't that sound like a good idea? Something that nice guys would do? You know, and again, I know people said, oh, well, Jordy did terrible things to these people. And so you leave that in the past. Like, personally, I feel like I've been wronged by a few people in my life. Some of you guys know some of them. Have I ever just sat here and said, we're going to do an entire show where I just riff on these guys and I just tell you all the bad things about them? Has that ever happened? No, because that's my past. Why am I going to go back in time and do this? It's fucked up. The guy's having a terrible life. He needs to get bariatric surgery. Let's do a show where we just make fun of him constantly. This sounds like a good idea. Just definitely some really nice people involved here. Seriously, like I'm sure these are just like the nicest guys you want to be your friends in real life. Definitely, you know, looking out for you and the best of your own interests, right?
With a derisive and comedic zeal. Sean Ranklin, using a quote from Kyle, released a video on March 22nd, 2018, in which he describes a scene from one of Jordy's streams that he had seen highlighted from one of the compilation channels.
I was watching a stream clip the other day, and it was probably the darkest thing I'd ever seen in Wings' stream before. And he went and produced a photograph, a framed picture, and he was like, this is me when I weighed, I want to say 240 pounds, and something happens. Something deep happened. He was just like...
very young.
Like a loss of hope. Like there was a moment where he was like, that's where I was, and this is where I am. It was a dark moment. But then he started eating his banquet meal, and that perked us right back up, because he chews like a dog, you know, just...
Wow.
Chomp, chomp, swallow.
What nice things to say. The guy is clearly depressed about his life. He's fucked up in the head. He's got no hope. Let's make fun of how he chews. How could you watch their content? No, I mean it now. How many scumbags have we seen in this documentary today? How could you possibly watch their content? I would be like, I never want to ever see anything with you guys ever again. You're disgusting to me. You're disgusting people. You're fucking scumbags. You would even do this right now. I can't believe that they would act like this and people are okay with this. This is acceptable behavior. Successful content creators on the internet.
Chomp, swallow,
Holy
and
fuck,
that banquet
man.
meal's gone. And then when he was done with it, he starts scraping up all the gravy with the fork and like getting all the juices that were in the bottom of the plastic tray. And we're just like, this is not a diet.
Jordy continued to engage with...
This is not a diet. No fucking shit. He weighs over 400 pounds, you fucking dumbass piece of shit. You are an idiot. You're an asshole. You're a scumbag.
The so-called troll discords as well, but with one important difference. He would stream at least some of these interactions on Twitch, such as one instance which Sean Ranklin uploaded onto their channel. Immediately upon joining, people began teasing him with well-known quotes.
I'm only going to talk, and it's only going to be civilized if you guys play clips like you're doing right now.
Here we go again. Why are you doing this?
If you try to be funny, if you try to do any game shit, I leave instantly, and I stop talking.
While it's not certain precisely how many people joined, it quickly devolved into people talking over one another.
Yo, what's up? Shout out to Sean Ranklin.
Just leave. That's it. You're done. Cut the cord. What are you doing? He puts himself in the situation,
One more meme, and I'm out.
One more. Just one more.
Despite his threats to leave, he found himself unable for some time.
I'm getting the I'm getting the fucking surgery, dude. I'm getting it.
Okay, buddy. Yep. All right. I'm sure.
Okay.
You're Liquid Richard.
You can go. All right. I'm out. By the way, whoever just did that, I'm out. I'm getting.
Yeah, I want you to. I'm out. I'm looking here. I'm looking. Listen, all right.
You see, Wayne, you're too scared to face your own reality.
I'm getting the fucking surgery, dude. Here's the truth. He's
about
still
my life.
talking
To these
right?
guys. Why?
I'm 460 pounds. I'm 460 pounds. My grandma can't take care of me the rest of her life, and she's I don't know how much longer she's gonna live. So like, if I don't get this surgery, there's nobody there for me in life. So if I get bedridden, guess what? I'm pretty much fucked. So I have to get the surgery. There is nothing to do with it. You see how you act, dude? Like, seriously.
You're a little kid. Shut the fuck up.
Little kid, you just went.
You guys hear me? All right, Jordy. We'll move on. All right, look here. Look, listen.
Why did he not quit?
I'm not fighting Keemstar. I'm not going on PK. Here's what I'm most likely going to do. I'm most likely just going to quit, and you're going to lose your toy.
Dang, you're going to
How about that guy?
You know why I won't? You know I haven't quit yet. Why don't I have the balls to quit? I have enough money to pay my house off and the surgery and do everything I need to do.
Dang, you're gonna.
How about that guy?
You know why I won't? You know I haven't quit yet. Why don't I have the balls to quit? I have enough money to pay my house off and the surgery and do everything I need to do.
You fucking cry on stream for money. You don't have the balls.
I haven't cried on stream for money in a long time. Listen, shut up. Let me speak a fucking sentence without people interjecting.
This is gonna be on Twitter.
Like, that's not gonna make it
doesn't
worse.
matter. Here's the thing. The only reason I let me talk. Mute them.
Shout out to Urban. Look, even your own dogs. That's ridiculous.
The Painkiller Already subreddit would also be used as a place for those interested in Jordy to congregate, occasionally criticizing him and pointing out inconsistencies in some of his claims. For example, on May 28th, someone with particular interest in him created a long Reddit post in which they detailed why they believed he had lied about scheduling his surgery in Mexico. Of note was the fact that this person had tested Jordy's honesty by applying for bariatric surgery at the same location. Where Jordy had claimed that it took some time to be scheduled, this person claimed that, in his experience, the clinic offered to schedule the surgery as soon as he paid the $500 deposit. Jordy would discuss this mounting scrutiny during his streams.
Not to mention, I'm scared to fucking death of the surgery. I'm scared of it. Who do I get to talk to about it? Nobody. Because if I talk about anything, on everything, there's a video made about it, and there's 20,000 people laughing at me, or there's a podcast with 100,000 viewers making fun of me, calling me a fucking idiot. What is there? It's like, seriously, what is there? I get what do I do this for a privilege for? Like, seriously, about a privilege to fucking sleep all goddamn day, play the same fucking games over and over and over again, to feel like shit, to realize nobody's ever gonna fucking love me. Like, what is the privilege that I fucking get?
Damn.
No, I don't got any friends, dude. I spend my entire life sitting in this fucking room.
By this point, he also had begun taking his Lexapro despite his initial reservations.
Like, I'm not off Lexapro. This is coming through Lexapro. Because I'm always stressed out. Like y'all motherfuckers give me so much anxiety. Anxiety meds aren't even working for me right now. I'm a fat dude. I'm going to cheat. It's going to happen. One of the reasons I'm getting this surgery is I'm trying to buy willpower. I'm trying to fuck myself up so badly that if I cheat, I'm going to vomit. And I'm going to throw up. And my body will reject food to the point that I force myself to learn a new way.
Soon after this stream, he would take to the Reddit thread and admit that the creator of the thread was correct. He had indeed not yet paid the deposit due to nervousness over the procedure. On June 16th, the members of the Painkiller Already podcast were discussing the likelihood of Jordy actually scheduling and receiving the surgery.
So, wing surgery is quickly approaching.
I may lose $5. I'm starting to think that he's telling the truth on this.
Yeah, get ready to dole that out. I would like it in doubloons.
I saw him he breaks out the happy pills, and so I don't watch his streams very much, but the highlight videos, I swear I haven't even subscribed to any of the highlight video channels,
But because I watch them all, YouTube knows that I secretly want to and keeps suggesting them from me. And yeah, he takes it and he's just like, shake it, shake it, shake it, shake it.
Okay.
On June 28, 2018, Jordy posted pictures of himself in a hospital gown to his Twitter feed, and soon he was back in his mother's modular home. He had opted for a surgery called a vertical sleeve gastrectomy, in which approximately 90% of the stomach is removed.
Wow,
Almost
90?
immediately, he began to question his decision.
Like, I wanted my life to be so much different after the surgery, and it's not really. It's not. Like, I just text just like 20 minutes ago and canceled the plans I had for today because I'm going to have to stream again today to try to keep my subs up. And, you know, like, I'm stuck in the same routine again where it's like I'm fucking here. And, like, right now, like, I'm so sick of sitting in chairs. That's the reason I bought this chair today on a whim. Like, I'm so sick of, like, my body hurting for sitting in chairs because I'm so big. And, like, I want to lose weight faster than I'm losing weight right now. And I'm not doing everything I could be doing to help that alone. Like, I'm not.
He continued to stream, and in part due to his new antidepressants, he had stopped reacting with such explosive anger as he once had, though he still would often read troll donations aloud before realizing what they were, or simply out of exasperation. It's also possible that he recognized how much of his income was coming from these troll donations, and he wanted to encourage them to a certain degree.
Art of Redemption, draw me like one of your banquet meals, you sexy man. I want to get coomed on? Oh. How many months do you have left to you? I don't have HIV, man. Hey, Carbine PPSH. Wow, you're really fat. That's cool. Let's do the donation rundown. Trailer Park of Redemption donated $1. I can respect that one.
What?
The guy goes, I donate, but since I'm in Great Britain, it's in pounds, and you obviously don't need no more of those. Bob Gnarly. What's cool? I know you're a lazy fucking bum who doesn't want to work because...
Why are you reading it?
6 pounds, yet I still work 60 hours a week doing manual labor. Get a job, you parasite.
However, while few developments were occurring post-surgery for Jordy, the community around him would begin experiencing significant upheavals, some of which were revealed publicly. In early 2019, a man named Joshua Moon, best known as Null, the owner and operator of the Kiwi Farms, hosted a stream in which he discussed the history of Jordy. The most surprising part of his stream wasn't the section about Jordy himself, but rather the troll community that had built around him.
And my rabbit hole into this world started with asking a question. Who is Lean? And the answer I got to that question was... Ha 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 ha, lol, you mad bro, ha 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 ha, mad bro, mad, piss, pisses on shithead, piss, ha ha ha, piss, sis, lamau, ha ha ha, ha ha ha, lol, piss. And that, my friends, is the fucking moment I decided, holy shit, these people are fucking crazy. These people are fucking nuts. This is not just some random fucking faggot from their Discord. This is a trusted user. There's like 12 of these people. It's a Discord with like 1,000 motherfuckers, and this motherfucker is at the tippy top. He's up there in the upper echelons of the trolldom. This shit. When I was in there asking people about Lean, a couple days after I spoke to Lean, people are like, well, you know, he started to monetize his videos. I'm like, oh, is that it? And they're like, no, he makes him look positive in his videos. Well, fucking goddamn, that sounds awful. Let's look at this. Let's look at one of these DS positive videos that Lean put out on Wings of Redemption.
Thanks for the shout out.
It's fucking stupid. Like, all their fucking effort, they still couldn't stop me from going 40 and 10. After all their fucking effort, they still couldn't do it.
And this is what pisses them off. In his videos, if Wings of Redemption gets trolled the fuck out but still ends up 40 to 10 with a 4-1 KD, a very, very good score, he'll include it in his highlight clips. And that is verboten. It is not allowed. If he does well in the video game, you cut that shit out. You leave that on the clipping floor.
Soon after, he reveals that apparently Lean claimed to a troll server that he had hired people to gather the personal information of everyone present in it. After trying to talk to the people in the troll server, Noel was banned, and the owners completely purged the chat logs of the entire channel in order to prevent Joshua from gathering information and taking screenshots of the conversation. But this wasn't the only piece of infighting that was occurring. Some months later, on July 3rd, the Wings of Redemption subreddit's Discord server was, quote, given a holy cleansing. One of the moderators of the subreddit wrote that, quote, the server has fallen down a manhole of noxious biohazard shit, and it all started with Road banning users for having different political opinions in favor of keeping user SodaSweet as a mod, who was a guy with children that was sending and receiving nudes from...
So, in general, people who troll full-time, who sit on Discords trolling people, who sit on websites trolling people, who in general spend their entire time trolling people, probably aren't very well-adjusted people. They're probably fucking nuts. Wow, what a revelation. We didn't know that, right? I mean, normal people don't do that. Normal people don't have those kind of actions. They have lives. They have positive things in their life to do. They don't sit on the internet trying to ruin the life of someone else that they don't even have direct interaction. So all this is it. Yes, you've exposed something that anyone should know. It should be common knowledge and common sense that people who do this are fucked in the head and basically are not okay. But it's like, this is some big revelation, not to me. This is something that I've put up with for many, many, many years. I know the people who do this stuff to me are not normal people. They need help. That's why they would do it. Anyone, you would think you'd have a conscience or something to tell you the kind of hurtful stuff you're doing to people constantly is bad at some point. How do you not have that moral compass? How do you not have any piece of sympathy, empathy for anyone around you? How can you be such a sociopath that I have an entire channel dedicated to hating someone. I have a Discord dedicated to hating someone. I'm on a website hating someone. We troll their streams. We troll their chats. We troll their videos. We troll their YouTube comments. We monetize content that makes fun of them. We make montage videos about it. It's like, at some point, you've got to say, what the hell? Like, something's wrong here. Okay.
From another user by the name of 3PM, who was another bloke that enjoyed cross-dressing and posing as a female. End quote. He went on to describe the arguments and fights that members would have there, specifically attacking the head admin on the server. As the troll community fought among itself, Jordy continued his habit of Twitch streaming, maintaining a view count between 300 and 700 consistently, with irregular donations, but so far, very little has changed. While he has visibly lost weight as a result of his surgery, he has stated that he is still over 300 pounds, much heavier than he should have been a year after his surgery. He continues to state that he wants to stop making gaming content online, but he can't convince himself to leave the reliable money, and so he continues to read troll donations and ban accounts from his stream chat, only for the trolls to replace them with new accounts shortly afterward. Many speculate that Jordy may only stop streaming on Twitch when people stop donating money, but the amount he receives only seems to be increasing with time, as people pay to send him messages in order to harass him. Jordy Jordan now stands as an example of what happens when someone without the proper mental fortitude, flexibility, or attitude is suddenly given fame in a niche area, and when someone's poor social habits alienate them from any kind of support network, whether in the form of their contemporaries or their viewer base. He also shows what can happen to those who feel themselves incapable of making any sort of significant change in their lives, and the fates to which they may consign themselves.
That it? Looks like that's going to be it. Probably just credits. I think that Wings of Redemption is someone who, much like me, got popular early on in the days of YouTube when there was no guidelines of what to do, how to act, what's the best option here or there. He didn't know, and he just kind of tried to wing it. I know that's a pun. And in a lot of cases, because of his own personality, because of his own, shortcomings, the fact that he did apparently suffer from depression, at least from everything I've seen in this video, that's evidence that that is the case. That essentially, he made a lot of bad choices, okay? Things that he said and did. And sometimes, I hate to say it, a lot of the things that happened to him seem to be the direct result of people around him who either were not a support system he needed, he had no support system in place to get him through these times, or the people who were supposed to be there as his support system were not. People on that Painkiller Already show that are supposed to be his friends, pulling him into situations that anyone who understands depression knows that he's not going to do them. but then somehow he becomes the villain of the whole situation. And again, this doesn't excuse any kind of fucked up things that he did to them behind the scenes. But again, if you understand depression, there's a level of self-destructive behavior to depression where you hate yourself enough that you want to bring everything down around you, including yourself and your relationships. Anything good has to come to an end when you are truly depressed. That's how it works. And I feel to some extent that's exactly what happened, is that everyone around him didn't understand what was going on with him because they haven't been there. They don't have depression. And because of that, they don't understand how it can make you do very bad things. Say things, act out, do things. I am not excusing what he's done. He actively could have tried to get help. He actively could have done things way differently. There's absolutely no reason for threats against anyone on this planet. I'm gonna kill you, or this, I think you deserve to die. That's fucked up. Should never happen, okay? Under no circumstance. But at the same time, you watch this tale and you're like, this guy just constantly got purposely set up to fail by a lot of people. He was always the butt of the joke. He was always the one who they really hoped that he would get pulled down. Now, admittedly, at first, when this started to happen, it was because he was so cocky. He got so wrapped up in his own internet ego. He got so embroiled in the whole situation where I'm the best Call of Duty player, or, you know, my shit doesn't stink. You know what I mean? I absolutely need to have notoriety as one of the better or best Call of Duty players. I'll play the guy who's known for zombies in a competitive multiplayer match and beat his ass. What did it even matter if he won? He was known as the guy who played multiplayer constantly, so what was even the point of the challenge? But he still accepted it. You see, again, but again, guess who put him into it? His buddies, a painkiller already. You see what I'm saying? Like, his buddies kind of got him roped into all this shit constantly. So I am not forgiving or exonerating Wings from anything that he said or did over the years that's horrible. And again, we only have one take. We don't actually know other perspectives. Perhaps there's way more to the story than we know outside of what was factually covered in this documentary. But from watching the documentary, I can understand why some people from an outsider's perspective who don't know the full story would make, oh, look at this funny reaction that he did this one time when he was playing a game, and laugh at it, and oh, look here, look, listen, and stuff like that. But when you watch it in context of the full story, when you watch it in context of the entire full story, it's actually way more complex and way more fucked up. It is a cautionary tale. If you jump into something early and you don't have anyone to guide you, you don't have the right support system in place to help you. When you fall, you need someone to lift you back up. He didn't seem to have that at all. It was just constant people ridiculing, making fun, spinning him in the wrong direction. He's going to keep fucking up because his mind puts him in that mindset. Whenever it looks like things are getting better and then something turns around and gets worse and it's like, oh fuck, now that's it, back to doom and gloom. And then everyone makes fun of him again. I've been there. I've been in that level where everything looks bleak, everything looks bad, and even things that are good, you can't see them. When Keemstar was trying to say to him, look at the good things you have in life. People want to be like you. People are trying to ride your coattails. People like who you are. You're popular on the internet, right? And he couldn't see that. To him, it's everything. He's an endless cycle. He'll never get better. You know what I mean? Now, the thing is, I guess the epilogue to the story is, at least for now, I've heard that he got married. And I guess maybe does he have a support system now? I would hope so. I don't know. Again, I don't watch his content. I haven't watched a follow-up video on this to know what's improved in the last, 2 to 3 years since this video was made. I don't know. But I would seriously hope that things got better for him. After watching this, even with the despicable things he said about people. Yeah, horrible thing, wishing people dead, wishing people car accidents and stuff. It's unacceptable. But at the very same time, I would hope that he got the help and the support that he needed, whether it's mental help, whether it's that emotional help of a family to back him, because it seems like that was always lacking, even though he's, oh, my grandmother and this and that. But then you find out the mortgage is fucked up and this is fucked up, and he didn't have what he needed at the times when he was at his lowest. I'm actually being told earlier today he was watching this stream and he was enjoying it with his wife. I'm happy to hear that. I really am. I wish this guy the best, because you see that, you're like, oh my God, man. Like, geez, I just hope that there's not a bad end. I want there to be a good end to that story, even with all the fucked up stuff in there. And if anything, when you watch that, it seems to me like if you have a soul, if you have a fucking conscience, how could you support that kind of shit? But people do. Am I wrong in saying that Keemstar is a millionaire? I think he is, right? So, I mean, holy shit. How? How could people have, how are there not enough good people on Earth to look at shit like that and be like, look at what this stuff that's happened over these years? Not to say that I want, that Wings didn't do anything wrong. He did, man. But anyway, I liked this documentary a lot. I did. I really enjoyed it. I hope that you guys liked it. I've never seen it before. That was really well done in my opinion. And it's hard because a lot of people say to me, why don't you react to a different kind of video, this video, that video? Because they're not unbiased. That's the problem. If there was unbiased videos out there, that's okay. But the problem is it's so hard to find an unbiased video about a topic like this on the internet. Most of them are very biased one way or the other. Especially if you go to the detractor content of anyone like Wings, me. It's so ridiculous, over the top, skewed, and it's ridiculous. Why would you even bother with that? You know what I'm saying? Like, moving forward, I absolutely do not ever want to do reactions to that kind of content and put a highlight on something that's harmful, toxic, and benefit or harm someone or benefit someone who's profiteering off of the harm of others. Okay, so please understand that. All right, I'm not going to do that. And the story of Wings, in summary, certainly he's a flawed human. He's got issues. I hope his issues at some extent in the last few years have gotten better for him. I don't know, but that is definitely number one. It's a cautionary tale of getting popular somewhere when you don't have a guideline of how to do it right, and then you get goaded into shit that's bad. You get pulled into situations that are drama-filled, and you just keep having it happen. And because you don't have the support system in place to help you, and you don't have the knowledge base because no one's done it before you, you don't know what the right choices are to do. I was making similar, if not, in some cases, directly doing some of the same mistakes he did over the years. Difference is it was different parts of my life. Like, I knew when I was in the competitive Street Fighter community, I made those mistakes with money matches and shit. So I don't care when I come to YouTube. I don't care about being the top guy playing Street Fighter. I don't give a fuck. I'm just putting out entertaining content. I don't need it to be my bravado, say I'm the best. I don't care. I know I'm not the best. I don't give a shit. Okay? But he didn't even have that experience. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, that's my take on it. All right?